Everybody, Num Nom Noms here. Welcome back to more Zenless Zone Zero. Today, we in it. Sorry, I was making sure I was going. We're in it. We're live. We're watching the second anniversary. And probably starting the 3.0 story. Because I woke up early enough to make a thumbnail for the anniversary. Might as well use that opportunity since I didn't finish the thumbnail for the Season 3 story. Part 1. Also, I know Pompeii is here. DA also just reset, so I do unfortunately have a hankering to also just do that while the stream plays. At the same time, I really like how I have it set up right now. I like my little horse. I like the little horse up here. Right. Leering in from the side. But I also kind of want to just put it up here and start beating up Pompeii. You know? Oh, and here's the tech. 2x speed. Alright, I see. Okay. I messed up my orientation and cropping. I screwed up my cropping entirely. Dang it. I hate this font. It's so clearly in that Star Rail style. Oh well, I have to put on 2x speed again. Also, I'm gonna assume subtitles. Yeah, no way.
很高兴又和各位神将见面了。3年的故事可谓是波澜起伏，神将力量觉醒，登上天空岛。雷米尔呢，则是背负着行刺晚奏的罪名，而767年中也还接连出现显象还生。最后，在3年的结尾，雷米提到了一个关键词“结使”，小晚奏那边也出现了异样。总而言之，天空岛上的风暴才刚刚开始，3年的故事将如何展开，一起来看。
Yeah, with subtitles, I wouldn't be paying any attention.
Today's success, first step toward taking back the world.
Is still the beginning of a miracle.
They are the ones who once again defeated the enemy and brought new hope to Eridu.
That sounds like propaganda to hype up the Void Hunters, to be honest.
We thought taking back the world was only a matter of time.
Oh, that's nice. Oh.
None of us reached the promised destination.
Ooh, he's got super cool eyes.
I can sense it.
I wasn't ready to. I was not ready for Sigurd's voice when because I only first heard it in the arcade event, which is I've only done the event and I haven't done the main story yet.
I'm Truvia from High Ambitions Corp.
Oh.
I'm here for our appointment.
Ooh.
Does everyone in
I think that was Lindburn.
have this nasty habit of haunting people like restless ghosts?
S-rank wanted criminal Remy L. Dan. You would do well not to resist in vain.
Are you sure? Do you really want to see the rest of Roshi buried alongside your
Yeah, the male we saw with his face hidden looks, and that girl Vesuvia
Hope you enjoy this dance of death.
looks to have been the two like characters also in the picture with us. Also, I forgot to mention I need to be a bit quiet. That pose.
Are you ready to follow
Gosh, her gameplay is so depressing. It sucks that she was the first Void Hunter I kind of wanted. It looks flashy, but man, ugh. The actual gameplay itself is unfortunately not there.
Checkmate, monster.
I also just wouldn't want to get a Void Hunter that I only feel is worthwhile with Velena, especially since I skipped Velena.
To a close. It's time for us to say goodbye. You still have somewhere to return to, but I do not. I killed her with my own hands. The era I knew, the people I loved, those memories, they're all long gone. Perhaps that's what the Sunbringers truly are.
Okay. I promise. I won't look.
Cool. Void Hunter, the long goodbye. Oh, I guess she's dying or something.
Finally decided to show up, did you?
Wow. Lucy has a swimsuit for some reason, but also Remiel, a second skin. It also didn't look that amazing. Similar goes to Sigrid. Sigrid's swimsuit did not look... it looks fine, which isn't great compared to her face skin looking much better. But the glance I got of that... the glance at the... what's her face? Swimsuit, Remiel's swimsuit was very plain looking and too similar to her base skin. Just less flowy.
他就是高智集团掌门人莫塞因特的千金克里维亚。
Mosian.
克里维亚，这个名字似曾相识。体验过3.0版本主线故事的神将们，相信不会对这个名字感到陌生。他和我们主角法同一样，是卡洛萨尔纳的学生，也曾是哲和灵最好的朋友。
Yeah, okay, so this is a cutscene I just never saw. Yeah, so those two were, you know, the male that we saw and the girl in that very interesting clothes. They were, it was very detailed and a bit more eccentric compared to the other characters we've seen. Yeah, that looks like backstory I haven't seen yet, and that's an image we've had for a long time. I think we have it burnt and crumpled up in our room or at our desk, but I think we were able to, I think, see, or maybe even leak what it really looked like. Ooh, what? Is that Linvern? Oh my gosh, is that Linvern?
他是空域巡数局的总务官，不同于各位此前所见过的埃尔达与德蕾奇娜，他是个更喜欢跟着直觉走的行动派，看着就是个直爽的人。相信我们和他很快就能熟悉起来。
I really want to go back and 2x speed, man.
那既然空训局的老大都已经出现了，自然也少不了他最可靠的副手，同时也是他最亲密的朋友——总务次官西格利德。 在之前的故事当中呢，我们
Something about her voice was weird for the only little bit I got from her.
之前我就想问了，什么徒手扔飞巨型蚁骸，一次喝掉一大桶燃油饮，从一个试鱼塔跳到另一个塔顶，他身上这些听起来就很离奇的传说，难道都是真的吗？这个嘛，你都已经说了是传说了，对吧？西格利德他们的德拉叙尔家族呢，世代都是。
I do like how all the rumors about Sigrid being totally super cool and impressive.
这类很离谱的传闻。 你的意思是这些传说里有不少水分，那这些的源头都是……我不好说，也不能说，只能说在林恩手下干活可能会比你想象的。
Is it Linfern herself making those rumors? That's
西格利
kind
德
of
本
funny.
人他也确实没有那么普通，相信各位神将很快就会明白这是什么意思的。另外，在茶会的现场，我们也将会第一次遇到弗林特工坊的负责人克拉蕾小姐。
Yeah, Claret looks really
此前
cool.
在接受治疗的时候，
It's a-
消耗了不少的灰烬啊。
It's a lot more extra, and now we can see like the red in her hair was literally this vague sort of bat wing patterning. I guess what I'm going for.
我们在3.0主线的最后，从基塔布鲁手中救下的那只帮布托比。
No spoilers.
的协助下，我们最终成功恢复了他一部
And
分
I'm just not
的
gonna pay too much attention to this
通过
part.
影像记录看到了他与幕后黑手产生
Now
交流的
that
地点。
looks like it's the guy who was the other one with Vesuvia. I forgot his name already.
嗯，恩德邦是
But
罗斯
the
卡利法当地的
guy
众多帮部组
part
织
of
之一
who was in the
但他
image
们远没有其他帮部
with
们
us
那么
as
老实
kids
他们自称在为了罗斯凯利法以及帮部们的利益而行动，但他们做的都是一些针对中枢五局的恶作剧，当然也就只是恶作剧的程度啊，小打小闹。
很难想象这样的组织会和上海帮部们的幕后黑手有关联。
这可说不太准哦，毕竟他们可是私藏了一位空训局的 S 级通缉犯呢。
你是指雷米埃尔吗？
没错，我们的老朋友，罗斯凯利法的 S 级通缉犯，初代虚兽雷
Man,
米
her
尔。
gameplay sucks.
我们现在所在这个地方，其实就是根据他在恩德邦据点的藏身处搭建而成的。
Sorry,
说起雷米埃尔，在3.0版本主线故事的最后，他好像向我们提起了一个此前从未出现过的概念——结使。
是的。虽然我们现在还没和结使有过真正意义上的接触，但我们其实已经遇见过一些与其仅有一步之遥的敌人，比如说
Okay, I saw a clip
3.0版本
about,
当中
or
遭遇的
a
基
little
塔
clip
布鲁、
about
巴什木，以及更早的
entrainers.
时候，在2.5版本当中出现的敌人太初梦魇。
太初梦魇，那种强度的敌人，竟然还算不上结使吗？
距离成为结使，他们都还少了最关键的那一环。
看样子我们要面对的敌人，或许比想象中的还要强大。
是啊，关于结使的更多情报，
cool,
关于
even
雷米
more
尔的
powerful than their
以及
previously
罗斯凯利法将面
powerful
对的全新危机，
foes.
就请大家在新版
Meta
本
storytelling.
漫长的告别当中一探究竟啦。
And that's a
此
very
外
cool
在
wise
版本
trip.
更新前，我们也为大家准备了和雷米埃尔的过去相关的一些短片，希望能为大家揭开与初代虚兽们
You know,
过往相关的冰山一角。
同样，空域
these are going by very
西格利德
swiftly.
的
That's
短片
funny.
也将随后上线。
That's pretty cool artwork.
对了，再说一个探索方面的
Those
新
went by
体
too
验。
fast. I was
除了
gonna say
之外，在
It
3.0
already
版本
did
当
the
中，伊埃斯还将解锁它全新的机
very
器的坐骑，
closer
变
self
成球形、滚动、
artwork
冲撞，
way
用
better.
来解谜和开拓路径。
看起来有点意思
Ball
哦
Blue is
大家
funny.
如果在游玩的过程中遇到的话，可以多试试哦。
It'd be
说不定
funnier
能
if
随
it
时发
was
现。
if it played like Marble Blast
好，
Ultra,
接下来让我们
which
先
is
喘口气，进一段
played
广
the
告。
same as Monkey Ball.
走。
Which I didn't play Super Monkey Ball, but I did play Marble Blast Ultra because that I think was on the arcade disc. So I played a demo of it, and it was a pretty sweet demo.
玩到上头。
I'm pretty sure my sister and I tried to teach our grandma how to play Marble Blast Ultra because we had the Xbox 360 at her place one time. I hate the
话不多
text in the
说
top left.
接下来就由我们两个为大家介绍一下3.1版本登场的新代理人。首先，我来为大家介绍一下称号为“时系留名”的初代
With the
虚兽
title of Temporal Lumen Flux. What a title. They keep showing her basic attack string, as if people will ever do it. I'm sorry, spoilers. Unofficially, I know official and unofficial information. And I know nothing but my experience, which, as far as anyone knows, is nothing.
从静置了100年的时光中归来，为了追寻一个
I really want to skip her, man.
献身于此
I hate Valina, which sounds like
是一个全新
a
的
weird,
没错，
whatever.
属性有一个独特的机制，雷米尔会
jarring
根据
response.
下一
Not,
位代理人的
not
属
quite
性
that, but I
导
hate
致受到
Valina
伤害发
because
生变
man,
化也就是说，当队伍不同的时候，它的输出属
I
性
just
会随之改变。
那可以
look at
根据
this
敌人
team,
的特
man.
点来变更不同的
Yeah,
队伍
all the
来
teams
应
they'll
对
show
不同的
is
环境
Remiel with
百搭
Valina.
是的，来看看雷米尔的攻击
It's
方式。
always Remiel, someone else,
普
Valina.
攻连段可以对敌人造成伤害并累积飞行能量，其中第四
They
步骤的
just
时候
way
会对敌人
overtuned
施加
Valina, man. I
特殊
really
技
hate
能
Valina. It's so
连
cringe.
强化特殊技，雷米埃尔可以发动攻击对造成伤
I-
害
I-，
同时为敌人施加2个流明
Yeah.
属性继续点。
看来这是流明属性的独特继续方式呢。
是的，当飞行能量积累充足
Just
时
like，puts
长
the
按
stacks on the enemy.
雷米尔可以进入转换姿态。此时切换队友入场的时候，雷米尔将
As soon as the stacks becomes full circle, does she come back onto the field? No.
会为全队提供增益。
But I guess
同时在
as soon
后
as
台自主行动
as soon as she leaves,
对
she
战斗
will
协
put
助
the stacks on, and
敌
every
人会为敌人施加
anomaly will
特殊
consume a stack.
处于非操作状态时也能为队友提供帮助，真是我们空中可靠的后援。话说，我还看到了一个新的跳词。
是的。
And now that's all of her stacks gone. Refringe.
简单来说，若敌人
Interesting.
继续点的时候，当他即将被打入属性异常状态时，会触发异化反应。雷米尔会消耗继续点来提升这次造成的
And she'll
异常
boost
伤
the
害的
total
总伤害
damage to the
同时
enemy.
为自己存在
Interesting.
最多可以存3发。
She's like way too over. I hate Valina so much, man.
没错，除了战之后，
It's
雷米尔
just
就
so
可以通
depressing.
过长按普攻键发动大范围攻击，触发药变效果。
If you wanted an
这
OP
个时候可以
Void
进入
Hunter, you
不
actually
要对
just
敌人造成
don't
伤害
bother
并
with
恢复大量的飞行能量
Remiel unless you
在
got
飞行姿态下，当雷梅尔
Valina,
3次异
which
化反应后
sucks.
就可以存满3发弹。
这个时候将激活特殊的支援技，激活后下次入场时会自动触发。哇，落地就是毁灭性打击。
Yeah.
不仅如此，发动支援技后还可以。
And this is her hold basic, which you can just hold basic during that first animation during her entry skill ultimate when you swap to enter her at when she can. Yeah, when she has the 3 dots after you activate 3 anomalies. You activate 3 anomalies, she'll gain a stack per anomaly. At 3 stacks, you swap after her, and she'll do her entry skill ultimate. And you can hold the basic to consume those stacks, and it'll play a long animation. So that's the entry skill. This is her normal ultimate. And it does that luminize, and this is the hold basic. And you can swap out early of that, so you don't wait on that really long animation just to get a quick assist. Though it does make it annoying if you do want the quick assist. Right. I'm trying to be careful because it's 4:44 a.m., so I do want to be quiet if I can. Hey, this character is actually fun. Her shield spinning around is just nice grouping. Stuff she'll do automatically. Man, I hate Alina. Jeez, imagine being twice as strong as Alice plus Jane with either of them instead. Oh, it's so stupid, man. Anyway, yeah, she plays like Evelyn basically, but you just don't hold the stacks, I think. I think you build up stacks faster, or at least more interestingly. You get 3 points of stacks, and then you consume them to full charge. Whenever the bar is blue, you hold basic, and she'll do her little strike, and at 3 dots, she'll do her Evelyn chain attack. But it's basic, I guess. Yeah, apparently she has high crit rate or something. Harder, better, faster, stronger. I get that reference. She has a cheaper EX, so it kind of makes her relatively smooth to play with Seed, because she'll build up energy pretty quickly, and Seed will give her more energy, so she'll have a lot of points to get back to Seed pretty quickly, which is pretty cool. And her parrying is pretty automatic. It'll just happen. And I think each time you'll just get a free stack of your thing. And she has a fun ult animation, just dashing through the enemy, running at them, with it, charging with a spear. I think that's pretty cool. What is this rotation? Why would you ever go the support into the stunner? I noticed a lot of people kind of do that. Or, I found it confusing with Astra into Zhao into Yansheng Wang. I think the format should always be Astra into the main DPS, mostly because of her chain activation.
连携技带来的爆发窗口，打出来的伤害真是赏心悦目。这就是我们总务次官的实力。在3.1版本还会有新的小帮部登场。没错，天使形象的艾瑞尔能在为大家提供助力。
I don't want to make fun of him saying that. I just know. I just know an Ariel, so it's kind of funny just to hear someone not native English speaking, not even speaking English at all, but using the name. No, Ariel has gripping.
这就是雷米的魅力啊！发动连携技，艾瑞尔会掷出缤纷星旋，给对手华丽一击。版本更新后，在帮部评论中，神将们可以选取他为 UP 帮部，抽取获得。话说回来，是不是也该到了那个环节了呢？兑换码线上。
Oh yeah, redemption code. ZZZ. Year 2 Aniv. I'm like right here in the game. Oh yeah, I really need to reconnect my controller, but I'm on Steam! I'm on Steam, so I don't even need to go far. Y2 Aniv. I don't need to like disconnect or some cringe. Or have just general cringe trying to reconnect my controller to the game. It's so cool, dude. Redemption code. ZZZY2K. Alright, I got my free stuff. Oh, and my Hoyo Lab check-in today was Polychrome. That was pretty cool.
大家好，又见面啦！
大家好，这次的代理人既有空巡局总务次官，还有初代虚兽雷米埃尔，真的很精彩了。
Wow,
那就赶紧
exciting.
来揭晓3.1版本的调频信息吧。首
Oh,
先，
search
考虑到
info.
大家肯定迫不及待的想和
So this means the reruns will be
这次
confirmed.
的雷米埃尔的独家频段和
Her artwork here is really pretty.
将在版更后开启并持续整个
Like, her design is cool, man.
全版本都可以抽，不用
Just
赶
wish
上
the
下班
Void
的
Hunter
时间
didn't
窗口了。
only feel OP with
是的
one
在
single
整个
character.
3.1版本期间，神将们
Only
都可以
because that
获取
one
为
character
80 节
is
生
overtuned
命
in
的
this
全
attack
新
and no
限
one
定
complained
连
about
线代理
it.
人雷米埃尔
Because suddenly
魔力
Pyro
属
Creep
性
is okay, I
不同
guess.
位
Because, well, we expect it. Oh yeah, right. She has skill effects or
而在版本下
Wenjin
版
effects.
还有另一位重磅代理人加入。
Another notable agent, not the Void Hunter though, so don't really care. And they said second half, so this is still a part 1, part 2, a normal format. I think some people were speculating Sigurd would be free, which was definitely mega cope, but you know. And she's with a Void Hunter, so they can only expect, but I mean, we literally just had Pyros. And Zhao was
复合
half
方
a
面呢，上半
year
期
ago,
间
so like no
将
reason to
开
expect
放
us to get
独家
another
频
free
段
character.
银色天使和殷勤
All
频
right.
段壳中之灵。
Aria
以
and
太属性异常代理人
Aria.
回归。
Sorry.
还没有入手的神将，这次可要把握机会啊！
下半期的复刻调频有些特别，我们
Ah,
是推出
rescreening in the
独家
second half
宠物
then.
频
Yep.
段刘英、福波右叶、钱宇优真3位 S 级代理人同时复刻。可
However,
自行
one was
地选择
expected.
3选1，而且首个
Freaking leak said Evelyn instead of Harumasa. Otherwise, it was accurate, but at the same time, it was very
对应
guessable.
的殷勤回响频段同理。昨夜
That's
来电
hilarious.
以法七变化
I actually have Zanchin Herb
300
case,
S 级
but I don't really care
硬
about
复刻
Harumasa that much to get his
神将们
M1.
可
I
以
don't
在
think
平
you
板
needed to
开
make
启
him
期间
feel good to
随
play
时更
anymore.
改定向目标，累计调频数据也会继承。当后续再
Yeah,
次
none
看
of
到
these.
同类的频段
Oh,
时
dang, it's a really
同样继
skippable
承
rescreen. That's
其
so
他
cringe,
数据
man.
分别计算。
That's so stupid. It's no one. I guess I kind of want Dylan's W engine because I'll still play her, but I'm gonna use
不要错过。
normal way more often
神将们
now.
熟悉的代理人头像，
So it doesn't really matter for me.
动态壁纸也会随着新代理人的登场
It is a
加
shame.
深鸡蛋
Oh, also, yeah, she's drinking tea on the edge, and then she's just sitting on a bench. Very pretty sitting positions. All right, but I did wish that they'd rerun the freebie events. So if you did want the characters, oh yeah, here's the W. Or grab this.
神将们可以挑战获得。
另外呢，随着流明属性的更新，也新增了
I'm back. I'll actually back up and pause, and then 2x speed. So we have AP plus 30, so a generally usable 2C 2-piece set, and now you can AP plus 50, but you kind of don't care because this has AP plus 50, so that anyone can use. So as long as you're not out for 15 seconds, it doesn't look like there's a cooldown, so you could just swap in and out and you'll just get this AP plus 50. So everyone can get AP plus 50 just from this 4-piece set. So if they don't have any better options, this is usable, even if this Lumiflux is only for Remiel. So you can play plus 110 AP from drive discs alone, whatever, and then defense disc set, and it kind of looks like Claret, which is frustrating. So it's damage plus 16% crit rate. That's not amazing. It's more crit rate than something like Shadow Harmony or the Ruptured set. And Ben achieves this pretty easily. He almost naturally gets 1k even if you don't build for defense, but then 1800 is also very doable. Especially if a 2-piece is 16%. But otherwise, 15% damage isn't anything special. But it's more damage than the attack. It's more crit rate than the crit rate other sets give you, like Shadow Harmony is 12-12, so this probably equates to being about equal. It's just a bit disappointing and not too interesting. Anyway, yeah, Remiel has her own element, so you have to grind for those discs as well. Ooh. Oh, no. I was just... I can't say anything. I have to be responsible. I can't say anything. Unrelated, I don't care for extraction games. I have negative desire to engage with them. And durability systems. In general, I think I'll have fun running around, fighting things. Man, I hate the gearing. I hate so much about this game mode. It's just not for me at all. Even for the most part, it'll be fun and enjoyable, I think, but it has so much cringe. And Remiel, no, sorry, I'm trying to be cheeky and be tongue-in-cheek with what I know, but I shouldn't be, because that's rude. I signed something and I shouldn't say anything. Ooh, Polychrome. You got Polychrome for doing it. So, it kind of sucks that even if you don't care for this game mode, like, there's still a ton of rewards stuck in it, so, like, you're almost cheated. Like, it's basically like a Pregio Vault. That game mode got really frustrating and boring, so incredibly boring after a while. But like you saw to do it. I don't think this is nearly as bad as the Pregio Vault, but it gets close with the ways you can get stuck in this. And, it's frustrating that there's a lot of rewards stuck behind something that can just be unengaging. Which is give or take, and I'd rather have that than just no rewards. I think I really truly believe the tower should just give you 5 polychrome for every floor you clear, up to like maybe 100, or maybe even higher. But, higher is probably a lot, but 500 polychrome for getting to a full of 100 cumulatively, like one every time you clear a floor, is much more rewarding and more incentive to do it than the literal nothing they give you to do now. Because that game mode is just so uninteresting with its scoring system. Also, this guy was sick and boring. I have never seen that attack.
若单局带出价值超过一定数额，还会触发大富豪奖励。研究站的发财部会根据带出价值的多少，赠予额外的抽奖机会。撤离带出物资可以投入基建、脱金中枢、仓储枢纽、工坊、大富豪回收处，还有研发中心。
I'm saying level up systems, but progression. Systems of progression that I think are cool to engage with. And I think that's cool. But I just have no care, because this is like Bootopia, right? It's an extraction, yeah. I hate extraction because it just means you have gear and it runs out of durability and you have to get resources to just remake the gear, and it's so stupid and annoying and boring, dude. Especially if you like run out of gear, then you're just stuck with crappy equipment doing either lower levels or being super killable. It's just so frustrating and just not interesting to play, dude. Gosh, it's so frustrating. I hate the extraction aspect, especially because you have to go to like a specific location. You can't just quit out or you lose all your stuff, you know? I hate extraction games. I'm so bored of it. Oh, cool, more headgear. That's cool.
佩洛伊斯的隐化同样可以兑换获得啊。说起来啊，我们很早的时候就提过，未来会把空洞环境的体验升级成真实的场景关卡。没错，我们之前的尝试其实是在用一种规则性玩法去模拟空洞内的探索、事件、资源和风险选择。而这一次的迷宫鬼域，就是想把这些规则从2维里延展出来，放进真实的场景中，让神将们不只是在2维里做选择，而是真的走进空洞。 在关卡里收集、战斗、判断路线，并决定什么时候继续深入，什么时候撤离。可迭代的爽感，这是我们在1.0时代许下的承诺。
I'm thinking about things that
迷宫鬼域
just
就是
shouldn't
我
be
们在
gone.
规则性玩法上继续迭代，把空洞
Enigma,
更具体、
not great exploration, immersive, more satisfying.
迷宫鬼域上线后，
Enigma of the Labyrinth.
敬请期待吧。紧张刺激的战斗撤离之外，既然是夏天，
Is Enigma of the Labyrinth what we were just looking at? Because I just don't care.
是的。 死而复生的启梦度假村迎来了复苏后的第一个盛夏，为进一步的提升。I
think Sigrid's swimsuit looks nice. I just don't see any reason why I would wear it over her base outfit.
篝火晚会，篝火晚会，听起来就很浪漫。
I feel like Vivian still had the best swimsuit. No, I think Lucy's here looks pretty nice. I really like how her pig mask that she had around her neck is like a snorkel now. I quite like her little visor and her pink jacket.
穿上了泳装，大家的身份也都更新了呢，阵容豪华。
I just don't see any appeal in Remiel's swimsuit. I like the slight blues and pinks. I get that, but geez, no care about Remiel's swimsuit. Like, why not just use the base skin? Why not get the black outfit? The black outfit looks so nice, man. Like the details with the texturing. Anyway, this is walking back and forth and picking up items. It is way better than the other half of this event that we're about to see. It is the same thing over and over again. I can't stress enough how this is just the same thing over and over again. But I mean, it's kind of like Vampire Survivors, so it's kind of fun. Yeah, you go pew 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 and then it'll go picking up items. I don't know, I think this is fun. This is comparatively fun over something like Operation Bagel. 再搭配不同的赶海工具和天气效果，每一局都能玩出新花样。3种流派3种爽，看谁的赶海技术最强。海产捞上来了，接下来就是经营纪念品店铺了。没错。 Oh yeah, and then part of it, which is it's whatever. Ooh, this menuing looks nice. Appreciate that. Was that an auto button? I just realized they didn't pick like an auto button, right? Yeah, they have skills. You have little character skills that'll let you use lower the requirements, I guess, or something like that. 另外，赶海中首次获得的海产会自动解锁图鉴，随主线推进解锁新的区域，还有更多的海产等待发现哦。图鉴解锁到一定数量后，可以领取 mysteries. Why is it still mysteries? Why are those last three still mysteries in the live stream? 大家最关心的奖励，完成恰浪花逐夏而至的活动主线。Yep, makes sense. The free A ranks there. What if they buffed the A ranks and made them actually usable? Hear me out. Just a thought. Right. Lucy's actually, man, Lucy is one of the less usable characters in the current state of the game. Like, he's really difficult to use with any lower tier DPS. And actually good buffers are quite a major boost over her for crit DPS or normally DPS. Like there's just a massive gap between like Yuzaha and Astra, let alone Yuzaha and Lucy. And the same goes for Lucy for Rupture and Lucy. No, Mr. Click. Yeah, I can't remember that. That makes sense. Nah, focus. Focus F. What the heck? Why is Mr. Cliff here? Why did his daughter turn into a big boo? Oh, hey, him again. I just did his event. That's where I first... Yeah, actually, he's where I first heard Sigrid speak. That's stupid. That is stupid. You're taking a photo of someone drinking a boba? Oh, hey, that's a boss that we haven't fought in the game yet. I have no commentary on him. He's very normal. I have no commentary. My commentary. He's normal. I'm pretty sure being able to get shots like this, going frame forward. I think frame forward is really cool. Hashtag ZZZ snaps. Honestly, I might do that. I enjoyed taking photos in Zenless Zero. Like, I enjoyed, like, I was doing Trigger, Seed, Orphe, and so I was trying to get nice photos of all three of them together during the last Mr. Click event. I think the last one. Wait, okay. Well, if this is an event about her being wanted, then I guess over the course of the main story, nothing is resolved about Remiel's criminal status. Why are we taking photos of her? Never mind then. Wanted. So is she wanted but still doing just wandering around? And that's what I'm saying. Sure, exciting is one way you can put it. Silly is another. Oh, why are you buffering now? Oh, where's your post office? Ding dong.
只要在特定的邮筒里投下信笺，
Oh.
能得到回应，许下的愿望也可以成真。
They don't have decades of... Sorry, I can't make that joke.
那天上还真能掉馅饼？
The same.
这次实现愿望的主角可不是我们自己哦。在活动期间
No, that's boring. Also, this is just the event they had. I think the first time they did it was with the resort. Though, at the same time, it's just a daily event, but for the letters things, it's just the Another Wish event with the bottles at the resort. I think all the way back in 2.2 was the first time they did, like, actual letters and daily reward. But it's just the same daily rewards as y'all. Anyway, this is cringe. Just, if you don't have the meta team, you don't bother with it. Like, it's just no point. You can probably get one thread, though. But like, yeah. Did you see that? Did you notice? Remiel Valina. I hate Valina so much. I hate Valina so much. I actually hate Valina. Like, I'm so frustrated by Valina, dude. Like, it's unbelievably cringe how overtuned that character is. I absolutely loathe Valina. Like, how do we get a character that's quote-unquote overpowered, called Nangong Yu, who's completely overtuned, apparently, and then one-up her with Valina? It's unbelievably cringe, dude. It's so stupid. Alright, so cute. Oh yeah, right. And then this should, you know, doing it after the anniversary should make it look more like we've been playing for like 2 years. I think I've missed 3 days of the last 2 years. It's just easy to miss the days, but yeah, not much is going on, not much reason to log in, and that's fine. I think I did a good job at hitting every day. It might have been just 2 days. I'm trying to... it is funny to think about that I can pinpoint like the 2 or 3 days that I've logged in every day. I mostly trying to keep track of it by going to the noodle shop every day. I wonder if I miss a day and they won't say my most visited shop is there, if they keep track of the most visited location. But I definitely miss days because I just eat my noodles later and forget to get back to it. Yeah.
再到如今的罗斯凯利法，每一次出发都离不开各位神将的陪伴，所以在这个特别的节点，项目组也准备了一些礼物，想把这份感谢传达给大家。在这次的 3.1 版本中，我们也为大家准备了
Wow, 30 polls. That is like 20 more than the dailies.
游戏即可领取1600菲林。2周年的专属头像和专属称号。
Second anniversary login. This is your normal 10 polls. So far the only extra is the 10 polls. I think we're getting 10 polls right now with Remiel. Then yeah, here's another daily login. It can't be understated though. They are trying to sell the normal 10 polls we normally get at the start of a patch as part of these anniversary rewards.
我们还想在这个特别的时刻，给神将们一份新的启程礼物。为了让各位神将能更自由地选择自己喜欢的伙伴，这一次我们也带来了一项新的周年。
Alright, choose their preferred free S rank agent.
S 级代理人。和去年的常驻 S 级自选不同，今年我们将范围进一步的扩大，升级为限定 S 级代理人自选。
Oh.
次可选择的代理人共有5位，分别为
Screw off.
雨果、班基和露西亚。
First off, I don't have 4 of these characters, which makes it somewhat tempting. Second, if you can select the W engine for free, then you actually get an agent with trigger, well, except she's way power crept by, like Giga power crept by, like, Dylan and Norma. But, Hugo's signature W engine is a very strong crit engine. It's the same caliber as, Evelyn's. Also, they're still wrapping up Kairos' progression as some form of rewards for free, which I mean, is still cool. We appreciate the free character, but it was kind of expected to, after you announce him for free. Oh, okay. That's cool. Yeah, so this is something people will talk about. When you lose the 50-50, you'll get one of the 6 specified characters. And it looks like they'll do the same for A ranks, which will be really cool, because Kaboom is really important for the freebie support option. Like, it's better than a... It's just much better than a... Well, not much, but yeah, it's still definitely better than a... Weeping Cradle at Phase 1. Here's a weird sound outside. Oh yeah. What did they say, duo? Yeah, this character is getting upgraded. Are they talking about the... Yeah, Jane and Rena as well. Wow, her Bing Boo are actually beating things up. I kinda do dislike how her buff might get automatic, but it might make her own signature actually usable on her. Well, more usable than kind of... Even if you're really good at Rena, it can fall off really easily just by the nature of how it works and how her attacks work, so she'll actually last with it. I just hope her buff doesn't turn into like a 20-second duration, because then it almost kills part of the appeal to me about Rena. Ah, brand new beginner guide. Sorry, I was thinking. Alright, and like, no shade. Not thinking negatively about free rewards. It's pretty cool. Yay, Polychrome. And even standard tickets.
签到活动，初代虚兽回归已经开启。
Yeah,
活动期间
this checkered event, right?
即可获得
Oh, was it 480 quality chrome?
此外，商城底片
I
选购
see.
的所有充值档位也会在 3.1 周年庆版本迎来首充双倍重置。以上福利和周年活动，大家可以在这里一览
Yeah.
全貌。
I don't want to. First off, they're putting Lucy's outfit in part of our free gifts as well. You know, Lucy. Sure, man. But yeah. I just hate Sandby. I hate Sandby so much. I hate two characters in particular right now. But I always hate Sandby. Freaking Polkra was unironically one of my most anticipated characters ever, man. And she ended up being a stupid, frustrating to use Aftershock agent who's fine as a free-to-play option and sucks as soon as you get any better character and has zero on-field viability, dude. I hate that she was just the free-to-play option for Sandby because Sandby was a super cool, epic Aftershock character who completely sucks on release because they just couldn't finalize her properly and then spent an entire... We're giving her upgrades when she didn't need DPS upgrades at the time. She just needed bug fixes and feels adjustments. But they decided to outright buffer numbers as well for no freaking reason. Because she was actually pulled and stuff, so instead characters I like had to be butchered just because she exists. And so because they're buffing Sandby, they had to freaking make Orphe so mediocre just because Sandby was going to be one of the strongest agents when she gets buffed. That's so stupid, dude. And I just don't like Lucia at all, dude. Like, Lucia being here, it's just really big hope that they're just giving her a replacement to her soon. Just, like, she's the obvious correct pick. If you don't have Lucia, it's good to get her and her signature. And though, again, Hugo's is just 5% less crit damage than Evelyn's. So, you know, it's 24% crit rate main stat, 45% crit damage, full stop. And then it's also very usable, or even best on Ellen as well, if you just like Ellen. Excuse me, sorry. He's not too usable. Like, my top two choices here are the two characters I don't hate. Because funnily enough, those might be my three, prior to Velena existing, those are probably my three least favorite agents in the game. I really don't like Trigger. Like, she's usable because I got her engine, but when I didn't have her engine until her rerun, Trigger was incredibly disappointing, like super depressing because her engine is one of the strongest like buffs or debuffs in the game. So it was a lot of her power, but she just deals no damage. Her daze is mediocre, and her buffing is also mediocre and gets worse in stun, dude. Like, how are you a setter with a buff that gets worse in stun? They didn't even give her like stun damage so that it balances out. They just need to give her like 10% or no, just plus 20% to her stun damage buff when in stun so that it balances out at M0. So that at least it doesn't drop from like a 35% DPS increase into like a 20. It drops like from like a 20 to like a 17% DPS increase because of how high the stun damage multiplier can go on some bosses, which is depressing and pathetic. But yeah, Lucia's the correct pick. She's the Rupture support. Her Wenjin is because Rupture gain less from attack. It doesn't have an alternative like Kaboom, so correct option is Lucia, which is frustrating because I like my Idhari. I want my Idhari to actually be good because I don't like Lucia and didn't want to spend pulls on her twice, my Idhari just feels super limp. But I mean, is it worth it to pull Lucia just for her? Idhari is one of my favorite characters to play. I quite like her quite a bit. But man, I just do not like Lucia, man, her gameplay is also frustrating. Like, just how her stacks peter out, how you have to swap her in. I don't know. I think I find her a bit frustrating. Like, she's more annoying. She's both basic, like Lucy, in that you just swap her in, EX, and swap out, but she, she adds a bit. You EX and basic attack. Ooh, wow. She's like Remiel instead. But she just, like, the way it peters out, you can't, like, swap her in early, and you have to, like, make sure you run out of her resource first, so that you actually build the resource back up. I don't know, she's more frustrating than engaging, which, well, is annoying. Which it makes sense, because annoying is a synonym. I just don't want Lucia, man. Which is frustrating. Because unfortunately, the character I wanted most out of everyone here was Jane Doe. But, like, what's the point? Why should I get Jane Doe, man? Why should I bother getting Jane Doe? Like, why? Like, she is so... Like, it just doesn't matter. The one team I wanted her for is so underpowered. Like, because power creep was so freaking egregious. Like, there's just a massive gap between Jane Doe and freaking Valina. Like, using Jane Alice or Valina with Alice or Valina with Jane. Like, there's such a massive gap because the stupid power creep in this game is just so massive, dude. So lame, man. It's just so... I hate Valina so much, dude. Like, it's such a bummer, dude. Like, it's so frustrating just how steep the anomaly, specifically the anomaly power creep was just so egregious. Like, somehow everyone got upset that Nangong was, like, overpowered and overtuned. I didn't like how overtuned she was. Like, which sucks, because her gameplay is super fun. I think she's really cool. And, especially with playing around anomalies within the stun. I think that's, like, way cooler than anyone gave it credit that it would be. But she's just overtuned. She just deals too much damage, and it just has way too much daze. Combined with her high buildup, which, it makes her, it helps her be fun being overtuned, but, like, seriously, she didn't need to be that overtuned. And then they just make Wind Anomaly. Yeah. YouTube is trying to give me Why is it telling me this stream bitrate is 0? That's bizarre. Alright, I'm falling, like, way behind. But yeah. I'm getting Jane. I'm absolutely getting Jane. How, unironically, my best, if I'm not getting Lucia ever at all, and I don't really care to. I'll check what their W engine is after the break. But the correct answer might be to get phase 2 of Trigger's W engine, just to bring it to, I think, 28% defense reduction. Yep, that makes sense. Vivian's swimsuit is finally available. This is a free one. I think it's a very nice looking skin. Also, they made the pigs pink, which is funny. They are pig coded now. I think this skin looks nice, but, like, again, I think the base outfit is just much better, so whatever. I still don't see the appeal. I think this is by far and easily her least appealing looking skin. Which, I mean, it's harmed by the fact that I think the black outfit was just easily the best. I think this outfit looks so good, man. Like, are you kidding me? Like, it's the least with the least amount of the chest view, so it's the least sort of sexualizing, I guess. Not to say it dismissively, I know what game I'm playing. But Despite being like the least revealing of any of her outfits, I think it looks really cool, dude. I think that black outfit looks really cool. Oh, I see. Was that? Oh, that whole artwork was pretty cool. Oh, ticket subs. There it is. This is the paying event. That's very interesting. Okay, so first off, getting either of these M1 would be insane. Getting Vivian would be cool. But either of these M1s would be insane. Aw, that's a nice header. Oh, so you get that. Oh, actually, that's really cool looking.
聊完新上架内容，接下来我们来看看3.1版本即将上线的一些优化内容。刚刚郑宇也提到了3.1版本，我们也对新手引导系统做了一次比较大的迭代。原本目标内的神将试炼手册将升级为全新的新人神将指南。那具体有什么优化呢？
Yeah, 5 minutes behind for my rant. Yeah, Brand. Yeah, guys like these would look cool. That's depressingly outdated. That team is garbage. Those are 2 of the worst A ranks in the game. Unironically, and that's unironically your best free-to-play option. Which is a lie. It's like uncool, as per usual, but yeah. Peace.
新人神将指南呢也新增了升级指引和非零获取指引的入口，会根据神将当前的等级阶段推荐并跳转到对应的文档内容。那很方便了。说到等级和成长，神王等级方面是不是也有调整？是的，为了让神将们更快体验到对应的游戏内容，我们对神王等级的成长做了一定的加速，调整了20到50级期间升级所需的经验，整体的升级节奏呢会更顺畅。其实这些只是其中一部分，从2.8版本开始，我们就在持续对系统和前期体验进行优化。非零指南、超前点映、部分关卡难度的调整，再到3.1的神王等级加速和新人神将指南一直在推进中。哎，你这么一说，确实做得。
Alright, yeah. I'm not getting most of this, but in general, I get the vibe of pretty cool. Yeah, it's fun. As you can see on the right side of your screen, if you're actually watching me, well, I think there's an obvious best in slot for playing with Pyros.
仓库中的引擎可以批量锁定和解锁 ，A 级引擎还能根据需要满星的数量进行锁定。对我这种坑坑鼠玩家很实用了。以前要处理还要一个个解锁。在引擎推荐界面中，我们还优化了选中推荐引擎左侧仓库内引擎自动选中的逻辑，保证此时选中的是更高等级、更高星级的对应引擎，也是省去了一些不必要的点击。好，以上就是 3.1 版本的优化内容了。接下来
Just something with some clicks, but you know, it's not that type of help isn't beneficial to me since I already build mine. Maximum immersion. Maximum immersion. If you go into the freaking collab right after saying maximum immersion, I'm gonna hate you. Just frick off with saying immersion and then giving me a collab with some stupid Hoyo game. Sorry. I say Hoyo hater, but like, I just don't care. Yeah, I also didn't engage with this at all. I'm not posting my QR code online. I just don't care. That's really cool artwork. Like those are both really sick. Wise felt a bit try-hard with his hands, but Bell just looks like super sick. Alright, just that's silly. That's fun though. Just doing a little minigame, got a little badge, a little badge, that's fun. Operation Yum 2026. That's fun. Someone put a code for ALG to give out. I was appreciating that. They go out of their way to like animate those like that artwork and stuff. But like, man, they can't ever make these skins. I really wanted the Bernie skin, man. Imagine if it was a skin. And also that like, that would have been a top tier Ellen skin as well.
从我们新版本开始，在 Xbox 生态下实现了主机和 PC 跨平台互通，在 Xbox PC 上也可以完成 Xbox 成就，获取 Xbox Rewards 积分。而且呢 ，XGP 奖励也将随着 Xbox 77版本的上线限时提升，由80菲林上涨到160菲林哦。此外，我们还对 Xbox Ally 和 Xbox Ally X 等奖励进行完整的适配，
希望能为各位玩家带来更便利、更多样的游戏体验。
哎，说了这么多，都有点口渴了啊。
哎，小 Q 来了，
抱歉来晚了，来给你们带了点喝的，来的正好啊。聊了这么多，接下来给大家的耳朵也带来点福利哦。神探们应该知道，绝群一直在音乐上倾注了很多心力。
无论是城市探索、战斗还是角色塑造，音乐都是我们构建这个世界不可或缺的一部分。
确实，每次新角色的音乐都让人印象深刻。这次我们为雷米尔准备了他个人 EP，今天特别为大家带来一段 demo， 先听为快哦。
Oh, I'm on 2x speed. Sorry about that. I was trying to catch up. But at, hey, 2x speed, kind of a bop.
完整版后续会在音乐平台上上架，敬请期待。接下来呢，为神探们讲讲近期展开的活动版。没问题。8月26日至8月30日，绝群将其他产品一同参与今年的德国克隆
Games they don't play. Ooh, a game I play.
更有满赠奖励和惊喜附带奉上。我们还为神将们准备了有趣的展台活动，前来互动将有机会获得游戏展主题的免费定制限量周边，先到先得哦。
更多参展信息和活动福利将在8月陆续释出，感兴趣的神将请多多关注官方资讯啦。
A long goodbye.
大家聊这些啊，都觉得时间过得特别快。
3.1版本的内容真的很丰富，聊到现在感觉还有很多内容没有说完。
剩下的就留给大家在游戏里慢慢挖掘吧。一晃眼啊，绝对已经2岁了。
这一路走来，真的很感谢每一位神将的陪伴，你们的热爱、期待和包容是我们最大的动力。
绝训的世界还在不断的生长，
我们会继续努力，在玩法和内容上持续加码，希望能带给神将们更多开心的体验，
陪大家走更长更远的路。好，祝绝群和所有神将们2周年快乐
Happy second anniversary.
即将上线，
我们不见不散，拜拜。
Bye bye.
还没结束啊，我今天来这里啊，还有一个
Oh,
重要的事。
yeah, sure, man.
绝群与崩坏星穹铁道将在不远的未来开展联动。
大家敬请期待。
Wow. Surreal. That's so cool. Wow. Whoa, Void Hunter weapons. Or... Oh, that's Eldreda. Alright. Sorry, this is like an actual trailer. It had new effects, new... I think, yeah, that was Void Hunter weapons, and then we're seeing... Oh, that's Eldreda Sunbringer. Yeah, they're making her look impressive. People were really trying to... People were really coping for a redesign. That's unfortunate for them. Yeah, she is not getting redesigned. Ooh, that's an interesting thing.
So high. Seconds frozen and woven, the madness of beholder. Be chosen, beholden as echo fed on the cloud. All of the endings that are bound to up on no distance can save. Strike the ground, raise the fire, cousin, democracy with no name. Fade out of reach, it breaks.
This song is probably copyright, to be honest. This might be the one and only time the first time I ever get a copyright issue. Oh, she had a shield. That was pretty cool. And someone's a bird. Hey, it's a bird. She sounds familiar. I probably know her from something. That's something worth rewinding and looking back on. That was cool. That was good. Unfortunately, I have a negative opinion on certain characters, which is frustrating. Unfortunately, it almost needlessly lowers my excitement for and total rating of this stream. Hey there, that's Vesuvia, right? That's what they said her name was. Wow, that's a bright outfit. Like, it's like really bright. Unfortunately, because I just have a massive dislike for how overtuned. Like, yeah, Elena seems overtuned, and it's frustrating because she's overtuned compared to freaking Nangong, dude. But yeah, I wanted to rewind and check this as well during this fight. No, that's too soon. There was a no, that was the very end of it. My bad. So it was before this. She walks forward to it. Sigrid, she slashing. Norma has a higher kill count within this own trailer. And so we see here. I am on HD despite how it may look for me. Yeah, okay. So she has a shield, first off. And people noted in her. Alright, now, come on. That is just sick. That is a sick shot. It looks more sick in my preview because it's low detail. Yeah, well, I'm not raising the detail, unfortunately, but yeah. But yeah, she has a clover-shaped shield. Oh, that's funny. So that's Dracone, or sorry, actually, I say Dracone because I haven't played the story, but I know someone talked about how it's actually pronounced Dracena, right? My bad. So this is Dracena, the smallest Sunbringer. Okay, she has no horns yet, but people noticed. Yeah, but it was pretty clear during the preview, the 2D trailer before Season 3 was released. It was noted how she had clover in the lighting of her hair, and so it looks like they're keeping that motif. With it seems like she has a shield. Also, I can't tell. Okay, I couldn't tell if this was something on her arm. But no, it's just the building in the background being destroyed and withering away. Can I get much higher? Quality. Void 100 level strength. But, actually really cool. She is able to block this. It looks like I don't get much higher quality than this. Oh, that looks cool, though. I think that came out better. I don't know. I kind of want Dracena Sunbringer. I kind of want all 3 Sunbringers in it. Okay, well, I kind of want all 3 Sunbringers, but I say that before I really got a good look at Linvern. Because I was thinking Linvern would be like older teenager, but I think they're going for a younger teen compared to like Dracena is the little baby Sunbringer. Also, it was an adorable reaction. Look at that face. Look, I didn't even notice the pose of the bamboo. Yeah. Yeah. How'd she catch him like that? Oh yeah, he was ready. But also just the way her... Alright, there's a lot going on here. Remember the way her eyes popped? The way his eyes popped? She's just... they're playing catch with the bamboo. Oh, come on. Alright, so it blinked out. Alright, good animations here. So that's Dracena. Or, sorry, that's Linvern. And she gets angry and starts joining the chase after them with with Sigrid here. She looks kind of cooler in this shot. It was a really cool trailer for Sunbringer. She'll be my hope for Season 3 because, geez. She was my biggest hope when I saw the preview. Let's see. So they talk about. I know they talk about. Or first off, we see Claret here. She looks a bit strange in the 3D model, but she looks. It's more like she looks much more mature in this 3D model, which is it's a bit weird. Almost trying to think back how she looked in the initial trailer. Let's see. When was it? Region gameplay? No, it wasn't region gameplay, right? Yeah, that's silly, right? Season 3 teaser, right?
New Eridu hides a secret.
Oh, you can see what people's excited for.
Signature too? Since when did Flint Workshop's opinion matter this much? Please.
All right. I like how her eye roll. First off, something we don't see in the 3D model is her mask right here. People noticed it's like a bat mask. What are we? Some kind of Batman? All right. Her head was way bigger. That's what it is. Yeah, her head is just absolutely way bigger in the 3D model. But it's also it wasn't as easy to tell what sort of these ribbons were. But I think here it's more clear that they're going for like a sort of bat motif on her wings, or bat wing motif for the ribbons in her hair. Well, actually, this is the ribbon on her shoulder, actually. But ribbon isn't the right word, but I can't. Streamer, not that kind of streamer, but like streamers. And then we couldn't quite see what these all were, I think. Well, actually, we could have probably in this first shot. Maybe. But now we see this almost maybe a little face look. Like you can imagine pulling these out and giving them a little body, and they're like ghastly little dudes, doll heads with a big long like suit, like neck of the suit. Why am I thinking a collar of the suit? Speaking of collars, this entire area here is very interesting looking, very detailed. Still, I don't know. There's something just off about how she looks here. It is her head is just small. I really think it's just that her head is small. And we also saw more of her hair back here. And we don't see her ears at all, which is fine, I think, for the perspective. But yeah, like compared to Belle, why is her head so small? I'm not crazy for that, right? Like her head just looks small, which it's probably more in an anatomical and an anatomy head, but like I don't know, it's just small. Also, yeah, this goes low, so low cut pants or no? Sorry, it's ZZZ. Low cut shorts, probably a skirt. It'd be nice if it was pants. Come on.
New Eridu.
What agreement?
Oh no, yeah, no, we saw it. Why would I think it's pants? It's this wild looking skirt. But yeah, we can see better of her. Yeah, we couldn't see her cuffs, but yeah, the bat wing cuffs were here as well, which makes sense. So these are also bat wings, which I don't think was quite as obvious, but still adds up with what we know of her design, which makes it a lot of bat wing stuff, ironically. Oh, and the ribbons. Yep, I didn't notice it here, but it's more obvious here that it's also bat wings. There was 3 things that hyped people up. I guess Phoenix was one. And the biggest excitement seemed to unironically be Claret. It peters off with Roxy into these nobodies. No one cared about Sigrid until we saw her 3D model. Oh, people don't even care about looking back at Storyteller, even though like this design's kind of wicked, man, like sick as heck. Gained interest back with Phoenix, but more interest with like we know this image, and so we know who these are. So it's very interesting, and we see Vesuvia's very purple outfit, but her hair is not as brown looking because I think it would look more. I don't think it was obviously brown in this image. So I wonder if they were going back and forth with her design. It looks very clearly brown in the trailer we just watched. And then, obviously, excitement about Remiel Dan, but then also the Void Hunter. And to be fair, I still think this almost slightly creeping smile that Sunbreaker has here, Aldretta has here, is very interesting. I still think we don't get too much of her personality. I haven't, again though, I haven't done the story, so I still need to do that. Alright, okay, we talked about gameplay here. So, I'm not crazy. We did, there she is. Yikes. 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 Sorry, I might be clipping with the S sounds. Yikes, though. She is way too baby-faced. Dang it. Ah. I think she's supposed to be Teen Sunbringer. Like teenager Sunbringer. So I guess I think the problem is ZZZ teenagers are still growing. Which, I mean, what do you mean? Yeah, teenagers. But I mean, I think the main problem is teen girls mature faster than teen boys. So a young looking girl makes her look even younger than probably intended. Like, there's no like growing up for Lucy, and that's the cope everyone has about, designs like Sokaku, Norma, and Lucy. But they're just short, man. But then they're not growing anymore. And so I don't know how old Linvern is even supposed to be. We guessed she would be the teenager Sunbringer, and I think that is the intent. But she's so baby faced, dude. Like she is super baby faced. I don't know. It looks like all the Sunbringers have a different motif though. Like Dracena was clearly Clover, was very clearly a Clover motif. I think it would be more obvious if we went back to her design. But now we see with Linvern, I don't think I don't think I recognize this specific flower. What is it, like a lotus or something? I'm pulling a name out of my butt, man. I don't know flowers like that. Lotus. Why are you giving me cars? No. It has pointed leaves like a lotus, but a 4-leaf lotus. Or I meant 4-leaf or 4-petal flower. All right, Trent Lopez. Let's see your blog because it's sharp point, but pink is kind of what they're going for. All right, now I have ads covering up my screen. Mastering your Samsung. Where the heck am I? Ask the man. All right, I'm not going back to that website. All right, I give up my search. It is not worthwhile. All right, so yes, she's clearly going for a motif of a different flower, 4-petaled, sharper points, and it looks like more pink magenta color scheme or accent. And you can see the motif also in the shine of her eyes. I assume Dracena had a clover motif there because she had the big clover shield as well. So it'll be interesting to see how she fights because she's like the attack. She just looks so young, man. It's a bummer because like I'm trying to make sure it doesn't sound weird at all. I was presuming an older looking teenager, like a young adult type. But I guess, geez, at what age do they think an adult is? Because if they think it's like 16, but also, they don't. Just to make, I don't know. I mean, it's not a bad thing if Belle and Wise are like supposedly 18. I'm sorry, they should be like mid-20s, but if the flashback was true, they're retconned to be like 18 to 20. But it's okay for them to be like mid-20s and have a teenager that looks older than them. But her actions will make it more clear, like maybe she has immaturity still, which is fine. Like a fiery attitude with immaturity is Lucy again, but different. You can do Lucy, but different. To that extent, yeah. I don't know. She just looks so baby-faced, dude. I'm not over it. Jeez, she had a real big chance to be my favorite of the three, and now my favorite of the three is probably just Eldreda. Because the flag spear is really cool. So, hard to beat out flag spear. Yeah, just a bit of a yikes. Bit of a but yeah. A yikes so far as I don't know, she's just a bit babyface and it is not appealing to me at all. It is. Ugh. I just don't like it as much, even though I really like her horns. I just don't. I don't like her face at all, dude. Honestly, I might like her face a bit if you take off all this hair. But even then, still, like, generally, you can see the outline of her hair here. And I think that looks nicer without all the hair behind it for some reason. But otherwise, I don't know. She's just kind of unappealing to look at. She's a woman of action. She's a woman? I don't know. She just looks young. But like, she looks young. Yeah, right-hand woman. Yeah. Yeah, her deputy is Sigrid, which is funny because, yeah, I guess maybe it would feel repetitive, and they're gonna go with the dynamic with how Linvern looks very immature. I don't know. It should have been already off. Yeah, it should have been already the off-putting is probably not the word I'm going for, but something along the lines of off-putting to see Dracena as like a major head of something. She's already like the kid Sunbringer, but now we have kid 2 Sunbringer. Like there's just a second kid Sunbringer is what it feels like instead of just immature but older Sunbringer, and then it's just the fully matured Sunbringer. I don't know. I guess I was really hoping her design would be cooler, and so they've gone for a very cute. I mean, it is in a similar. I think this feels like a similar way the people who I shouldn't say whine or cry. No, are these their weapons? Let's see. Actually, yeah. So this is Sigrid's weapon. This is the broomstick. Sorry. Oh, actually, I'm curious. It looks like she is shield and sword. I'm getting the vibe of shield and sword, which actually could be kind of cool if they go the route of Dracena is innocent, and so she is a fully focused shielder. That's cool to me. Linvern is a mix of the two. Then whatever here is whatever the heck Claret's gonna be doing crap with. Hey, look, this is HSO. I recognize that uniform. And it's the only unique, distinct uniform among these plain-looking NPCs. Yeah. I don't know. Gosh, she's just so baby-faced, dude. I'm not over it, though. It's just so off-putting. I do not like how she looks. Like, I almost like how she looks. I think this weird little closed flower thing for the top of her disconnected sleeves is kind of cool. And her gloves are pretty cool. I like them quite a bit. And the sharp edges to her, like horns, and the flower of choice, along with this sort of fluffy cuff for the neck. No, I just said the word scarf, neck. collar. Yeah, this fluffy collar that's more like a strap to her top. I don't know. Depending on what's behind her here, because we see this, it looks like she has more of the flower motif behind her, which we probably saw in this trailer here when she was running and getting turned around. Yeah. All right. Also, I should probably change the title because, like, they said special guest, and that it's entirely irrelevant so far. Excuse me. I'm sorry about that. Yeah. Her weapons look cool. I liked what we saw of them over here. Like, I think shield and sword is cool. Caesar, Seth, I think has the coolest shield and sword. But every time they do shield and sword, it's pretty cool. Because like Caesar, her shield is magnetic to her metal arm, so she can toss it and have it fly around and flow back to her. And they're doing the same thing for Sigrid, if you think about it. Hers is different, like it's more dynamic, expansive with its motion, but she still has the armor on the left arm is also, I guess, where it comes from, and probably magnetizes back to, similar to Caesar, except Sigrid just has her arm normally. She's not one of them disabled. Affectionate. Seth is the other shield and sworder. I'm bringing up. It's fine. I don't have my browser. I don't have my screen itself recording. All right, it's appearing over here. I'm going to bring up the list of characters. Hopefully, my computer can handle it. It's already huffing and heaving at the thought of having two separate windows, OBS and ZZZ open. All right, I'm already where I want to be. How many shield and sworders have we? Because Seth and Caesar were the first two that came to mind. Seth is a cooler, I think the coolest shield and sword, because he mixes the two. He absorbs his shield. He has a baton, but he can morph his shield into being a massive sword, and the transforming aspect of that is just really cool. I combined sick and cool, so I got really cool. Really sick. Pretty cool. Alright. So Seth, like, he's a sick shield and sworder. But I think, yeah, we only have the two shield and sword. We don't have many shields at all in Zenless and Zero. I think we only have the two. Yeah. Only two shields in the entire game until Sigrid arrives. Because she'll be the next shield. But she will be shield and lance, so we'll get another shield and sword. And I think it'll be really cool if we get Dracena, and then she'll be our pure shield agent. Our pure shield, which that's the most defense sounding character I've ever heard. I hope she's a win support. But yes. Linvern for shield and sword DPS. That can be cool. I just not over it, man. She just looks so babyish. Like, what a baby face, dude. I'm not over this. I don't think I'll ever be over this. She just looks way young. Like, it feels like Dracena is like 8, 9 years old, and then she's 13. Not even 15 or 14, just 13-year-old. This is fine and all, but it feels like that's not much of an age gap between the Sunbringer through the ages. I think that's the biggest problem. We already have Kid Sunbringer, so I have a slightly less Kid Sunbringer it feels awkward. And when the next step is full maturity Sunbringer. Anyway, I have nothing positive to say about the gameplay of Remiel. It's unofficial information, and I shouldn't spread baseless claims or break information, but just don't care about getting an OP character if one, they're incredibly boring, and two, they're only overpowered with one specific character. I wonder who's the actual overpowered one here. This is a bummer because there's a lot of good in this live stream, man. But unfortunately, because I got into some places officially, completely actually official, I've experienced things, and my experience tells me I just hate how overpowered and overtuned. Just hate how overtuned Valina is, and how not powerful Remiel feels. Like she's just better than Yusaha, which is frustrating because Yusaha already has a gap between her and the next best options. So like if you don't have Yusaha, get this really boring character. And trust me, she will be boring. ALG will be raging about how boring Remiel is for at least 9 months. No shade. But man, I am leaning back, and I shouldn't be because there's only so many ways you can hear me, and that way is actually being close to the microphone. Because again, it's 5:58 a.m. Anyway, if you like Sigrid, highly recommend her. She's basically like Evelyn. I don't know if that's appealing, but yeah, she is another flavor of Evelyn. She's basically ice cream Evelyn. She tastes like Evelyn, but she's a modern DPS, so she's stronger. There you go. You'll be able to enjoy a character who's actually good. Congratulations, you didn't pull Orphe, so you get a good character. This rerun is funny. Arya makes sense because Valina Arya is for some reason quite powerful. Sorry, I stuttered. So powerful is what you get. So it makes sense to rerun Arya. Rescreening makes sense. It's the exact format I expected. Dylan is a powerful character, so it makes sense to 10 people right after the Void Hunter is sold with, hey, I mean, she's cheaper now. Get. Oh, but you know what? The Anomaly Smart's also powerful. And the fact is, it's true. And with Remiel being a triple anomaly agent, making her inherently anti-Yuzaha, I mean, let's be real, everyone. Do we expect double anomaly, if not more, for Shiyu cycles? Yeah. Expect them asking you to do multiple anomaly teams per DA and Shiyu cycle. It'll be the Remiel shill and the anomaly shill. Which means, hey, you can use your idols, Angel of Delusion. Alright, but yeah, there are options that aren't Yuzaha, but it's one specific team versus the Void Hunter versus have Yuzaha. The gap in between having those options and not is pretty wide, which is frustrating. I think some agents, like stronger DPS, like particularly Promea and Vivian, get by with someone like Astra better, but the gap is still there because that's just how overtuned Yuzaha was, and that's frustrating. It's a good thing they didn't outright Power Creeper. Oh wait, I mean Yuzaha still has her other options, but like, yeah, freaking the Void Hunter, man, it's gonna be cringe, but somehow worse and more boring than Yuzaha. I just don't get it. All right, Dylan is still herself. She's stronger for certain characters, like Norma. Norma definitely feels overpowered at this current state because we get her shilling. We get the chain vulnerability. We get actual general buffs that will let you actually deal more damage with Norma. But as soon as that's gone, it's going to be back to only buffs for Rupture, only buffs for attackers, and then Norma's DPS will go down, and then it'll be more balanced between Dylan being above average for most of the fight, which means we probably shouldn't expect like normal shilling during Sigurd's banner, which is annoying. Sucks, man. Like, it sucks so much, dude. I mean, somehow they're rerunning 3 characters I already have, but I mean, they probably are extremely likely to rerun an attacker that I would already have. Because, I mean, unless they put Hugo there. But they didn't. They had other plans for Hugo. For W Engine, yesterday calls is pretty good. It has the off-field regen of Hellfire Gears at phase 5. They have a max out Hellfire Gears worth of off-field regen, which is crazy. But it also has chain attack or crit rate main stat, so you can hit the 100% much easier. I'm at like 86 in my highest crit rate build, so my Dylan would deal much more damage. Would it be much more? Yeah, it'd be like 50. I think it'll average like 50% more crit rate if on my really good build, which I think it's just the build my Norma has. Yeah, basically. Yeah, the ER discs, so ER 6, yeah. And then you'll just basically have your EXs and full combo up whenever you want. And you'll get 30% crit damage on top of it. Cool. Metatanuki Morphosis. Yep, I said it right. Is 60 AP to the team and AM for Yuza herself to max out her additional ability. You get 5.6% anomaly damage, disorder damage, and build up. Yeah, that's it. Without Metatanuki Morphosis, you get 14.4% of her Yuzaha's additional ability because you're at 171 AM out of 200. You need to reach 200, so you need that W engine. I think it's AM main stat. No, it's ER main stat. It just has AM in the passive, which is all you need, so it's not initial value. And so with only 171, you get 14.4% anomaly damage, build up, and disorder damage. My bad. And because of that, I don't know, my brain's lost. It's 60 AP and a bit of anomaly damage and build up. It's nice, but you can also get 16% attack with Kaboom the Cannon. Consider she has a Tanuki, and he attacks. Therefore, the whole team, I think her Aftershock is basically 1 stack, and her Dot is another stack. So you just need to attack with your 2 anomaly agents, and they give you an 8-second cooldown on a buff that actually gets to max stacks for 16% combat attack, which is pretty good, even with Yuzaha's 1200 attack buff. It's yeah. Let's see. At 3000 attack, I'm pretty sure it's like 480 attack. Or it's 480 attack. It'll be less because on average it feels like anomaly agents, because they usually end up with AM main stat and don't have an attack percent main stat. W engine, aside from like Weeping Gemini for the free to play option, the combat attack from Kaboom the Cannon should be average, a bit lower than usual. But even then, it's a lot of attack compared to 60 AP, which is the only other stat you can be building for. So, Dungeon Herb case shouldn't be pulled for. If you... Excuse me. Sorry. If you consider Dungeon Herb case as just maybe a general free-to-play option, don't. Only get it if you like Haramas and will be using it with him. It's just going to be objectively worse than two other options. It's 4% less crit rate than Heartstring Nocturne or Hugo's W Engine, and it's 2% less crit damage than Heartstring Nocturne, 3% more crit damage than Hugo's W Engine. But it has a condition of stun or anomaly application to give 10% of its 20% crit rate. So it's a solid crit rate stat stick, but it's not as good as Hugo's or Evelyn's. And, well, you'll get to pick one of those for free. M1s, I don't think any of them is worth an M1, to be honest. Definitely Yusa has M1 over her Sig. Dylan's, I think Dylan's M1 over her Sig. Probably her Sig. You get more ER, you get 30% crit damage, but it's 50% res shred. She's made for a rupture or attacker, so it doesn't matter that whether or not her res shred works with anomaly. Because if you've seen OK Muzi's anomaly video, apparently, because of the wording, Zhao's M1 doesn't buff anomaly damage. Epic. That's so cool. Harmas's M1 is an extra dash, which can be just better for feels, just spamming out dashes. But because of his buff, like the better Haramasa players will get more out of it, I'm sure. But I think the overall feels for Haramasa is much better after his buff, so you don't need to do it just to make him feel better to play. But just to make him stronger, if you like him. Otherwise, he's a solid DPS. He's just not a great one at the current state. He was buffed to be Evelyn's level. Evelyn to seed with Orphe. I'm so depressed by this, man. I want to check back on that. Okay, I can't find the reward menu. Yeah, just look at it like this. I already ranted about this. I hate this character. I like this character, but he's underpowered. I hate this character. I hate her even more. And so, let me open back up Pridwin and check the W engine. That's it. So Hugo's W engine, just a reminder for the no one who watches me, 45% crit damage, 24% crit rate main stat, EX special, chain, or ultimate, give a stack, or give a buff for 3 seconds that makes you ignore the defense. Yeah, if they deal ice damage. So it's only for Ellen and Hugo and Sigrid. Which is why Sigrid probably has a ton of crit rate, and because she has a ton of crit rate, having a crit main stat is maybe less optimal unless you can build an insane disc, or just get insane discs that are pure attack percent and crit damage to supplement. It is okay. For some reason, I was thinking 3 attackers. Severed Innocence is 30% crit damage with a 40% crit damage main stat, so it's a big crit damage stat stick. Basic attack, special attack, and aftershock give you a stack of the buff, which means you aren't locked to it being for electric agents. And so each stack is 10% more crit damage, so it's 50% crit damage anyone can use, 60% for Sandy specifically, before you factor in the 48% from the main stat. But then with all 3 stacks, so you need to be an aftershock agent, you get 20% electric damage, which doesn't matter for anyone who isn't Zambi. But it's a good crit damage stat stick for when you're high crit rate already. Severed Innocence, please have the numbers, man, because some of these items still don't. Spectral Gaze, I don't know. Severed Innocence was Hugo's, or no, Zambi's. Spectral Gaze, okay. If I get it, I get 3.75% more defense reduction. 3 more spectral gazes, and I go all the way up to 40% defense reduction. Oh, is it really? That's just 3 point. Yeah, it makes sense. It is 3.75 again, then 3.75 again. Yeah, so it is every stack of every overclock of triggers W engine is 3.75 defense reduction, which isn't a lot until you get to the end and you're at 40% defense reduction, which makes it kind of insane. Oh yeah, she also gets more impact, which is cool and all. That's a very small increase, but when you're defense red stacking with like Seed and Orphe, then it looks good, which is frustrating because I mean, geez, I would have taken an Astra on the rescreening over Yuzaha. Unironically, I would take back-to-back rescreens of Astra just to get Astra's M1 because I'd like way prefer 18%. Like I can't understand how for some reason Astra just has more like res reduction on her M1 than Zhao, and hers actually works for anomaly, unlike Zhao. But it's also more than like Dylan for whatever reason. It's more than Norma for whatever reason. Like, come on, I don't get, but they don't balance it. It feels cringe and frustrating. Like for Dylan, it was a bit annoying because like, what if I liked Dylan, but now I like Norma. I like Zhao a lot, so I don't get why they just get objectively worse than a character from 1.5, dude. So lame. Anyway, now to read Dreamlit Hearth. That is Lucia's W engine. It is an HP main stat, so and it gives a flat 0.4 energy regen just by existing for in its passive. So to counter the fact that it doesn't give any energy regen in the main stat, and you have to be an Ether Veil agent to apply it. To apply a 25% damage buff and 50% HP buff. Technically means if they ever make a support that also procs an Ether Veil. Wait. Oh, that's funny. That means Suna can activate this. That's fun. It's 25% damage, which isn't bad. But yeah, 15% HP and 25% damage is pretty good. 15% HP is not the same as the 16% attack Kaboom the Cannon gives, since the HP is still adds up with attack, so they're both divided by they both divide each other. Or even though HP is more important, attack is still like 1/3 of the 1/3 to like a quarter of like the potential. Like if HP and attack were relatively even for Rupture Agent, like by a factor of 10, like 20k versus 2000 attack, 20k HP, it'd be would attack be like 1/3 of it? It'd be something like that. So the HP isn't as valuable as it looks like, but it would still be good. So like, I hate Lucia, but I recommend her if you have a Rupture Agent, then you never got Lucia. And you want your Rupture Agent to actually be good. It feels insane that they'd give her out for free. So I'm really hopeful they have someone to replace her. Anyway, yeah. I don't know what W engine I would get. There's a chance I try to max out Jane's Sharpened Stinger. For all intents and purposes, maxing this out brings it up to an 80%, goes from 40% to 80% build-up increase at max stacks. So as long as you maintain the stacks, you get a pretty massive increase to your physical build-up. But then each stack of the buff, which maxes out instantly if you get a perfect dodge, but you otherwise you gain 1 stack per dash attack, it goes from 12% to 24% damage per stack. Meaning it goes from 36% damage to 72% damage. Which is insane. You definitely don't build damage on Jane Doe anymore if you get multiple copies of Sharpened Stinger. I might do that. It makes it frustrating because Practice to Perfection is easily a more usable option for someone like Jane Doe. But if her potential unlocks, which they're talking about here, I don't want to talk about the potential. I don't want to talk about potential unlocks since I know more. I think I officially know more than I should, meaning I should not say anything about them because that'd be rude. Okay, so it looks like you have the. Oh, sorry, rubbing my leg and echoing across. You have a set characters you can, if you want, which would be really cool because I'll be able to remove her and her and him actually. Like on Mindscape Suck, I don't care about Soldier 11 that much. I like Evelyn, and I will be using Orphe way more than either of them. And I have her M1, so I don't need it anymore. So, and I want her M6 before it M7 and beyond gave tickets. I want her. She will just be good. And I just want Grace Mindscapes as well, even though I will less likely to use her for a long while. And all of these would be good losses. GUN is just in general would be an excellent loss. Let's see. Custom search function. Let's see. Yeah, so these are. Yeah, arguably these are the most lackluster agents in the game at the moment when it comes to the most highest levels of players. These are the most lacking limited agents. Like among the limited options, everyone else, even some standard agents have a niche over someone like Caesar. Because Ellen got buffed, it can't be understated. Ellen's first buff brought her to GU1's level. Ellen's second buff was just 48% crit damage for free and 10%, or was it 12% ice res ignore? It was 10% ice res ignore, so that's less than 10% increase on top of free crit damage, where she's already inflated with crit damage. But I mean, it's free crit damage. So it combines into a solid increase. Like, it's like a better than a Mindscape worth of boost. I wonder if Pray to Win, on the website where people don't even play the characters they talk about, yeah, they, for whatever calculations they have, they say it's over 20% DPS increase, which is what my head math would say. I'm sure it would get worse on an actual Ice Week boss, and if you use someone like Lycon or even lighter with Ellen. But yes, the thing is, even with them being lackluster, and somehow in the current state of the game, Yanagi is the weakest of any anomaly agent, just because Valina is so stupidly overtuned. I hate Valina so much, dude. I hate that. I think I'm partly frustrated because freaking I wanted Alice so badly, dude. I wanted Alice with Jane Doe, and this I'll finally get to play it. But like, the gap in power is so freaking high because of the insane power of this stupid game, man. But so they're balanced around a stupid overpowered character called Valina, and it's so frustrating and stupid. But because Valina brings everyone except Yanagi to a high level, because Yanagi's polarity disorder will just be much weaker than usual because of the base disorder modifier of Wind being super low. Yanagi is now the weakest anomaly agent in the game because Valina exists. Valina is only tier 0.5, I guess. But despite that, Yanagi's M1 is just 80 AP for free. Her EX is confusing with the stacks it gives. Let's see. Is there an objective boost to it? It gives anomaly buildup. You get the additional dashes for every 10 energy or something like that. Yeah. When the downward hits an enemy, damage multiplier increases by 20%. Yeah, and each dash you get with Yanagi's M2 is a little multiplier increase. So there is an objective increase to Yanagi's M2, but it's mostly a gameplay change. Supposedly it's good. And her Yanagi's EX, or like, apparently it's not a significant amount, but Yanagi's polarity modifier is actually increased with her M3 and M5, so that's also something. And then I think Yanagi's M4's actual DP, like a 16% pen buff for the whole team, which is like awesome if you like stack with Bernice, except Bernice sucks outside of Velina or Nangong. So like, it's not that amazing, but it's great if you're pen stacking everyone, or even using her with Miyabi or other mixed squads. So just imagine just randomly landing on an M4 Yanagi. That's really solid, especially with the pen build. You'll be able to like change something out for higher DPS because you'll still be at a like 90 or higher pen. And then just these are limited agents. So their M6s are still really strong. The similar goes for Bernice. This is me trusting like Pred wins actually good. Can I actually think I can share video capture this? This is trusting Pride win, so be careful. Where is it? All right, supposedly this is accurate information to Ji-Wen's Mindscapes. Like, come on. She would double in power, according to Bridewin, in a Dylan team. So I guess it's a recent rebuff of her stats. This is M1 is an interesting calculation since it's not an objective increase, but you get more shot shells and bullets, and so it can be more brain off. This is more important for non-Nicole teams, I think. It'll just be much easier to just, if your buffs are long, you'll just be able to stay on GUN for a very long time and not worry about needing to swap out to reapply Nicole's buff. And agents like Norma and Dylan will just give you more stacks of this constantly, so you'll just constantly have bullets and shot cells. I think Norma specifically will be a very big increase, and then this is just an objective DPS increase. It's up to 15% damage if you keep using shot shells within 15 seconds, or sorry, much less, 5 seconds, which is, I'm sure, will be a bit hard to maintain, and it certainly doesn't exist at the start of the fight. But also, she's a crit DPS, so these are actual meaningful DPS increases, or at least an 8% increase tends to be how they claim these to be. Supposedly more than a 10. First off, supposedly more than just a 8% DPS increases, which is what I presumed these to be. Also, it looks to be as meaningful as her M2 just because of all the damage stacking, which is hilarious. But she also has one of the only real M4s because she gets 25% res ignore on her basic attacks. Less important on either weak enemies, but still means it's also a full 25% DPS increase for her basic attacks only, which is half of her damage, which makes it like a 13% DPS increase. But like, this also pushes her basics further, and in stun, her basics are pushed even further, so it might be closer to a 15% DPS increase on non-either weak enemies, but I mean, alright, be objective here. at this point you start being better than who? Hugo, definitely M0. But you start the same way Soldier 11 starts beating out Evelyn. Jiyuan would start beating out limited agents at this point and this point as well. As silly as this is, she gets a modifier boost for instances of this, which means a 1 or 880% modifier increase to her EX special, and it's maxed out. So her EX special does not have a good modifier, by the way. Wow, that's really low, kind of sad, especially because it doesn't get any part of this buff. It doesn't get any of the damage buff from here, which is sad. It doesn't even get the DPS increase from here, so it's just a raw modifier to be buffed. Which, I mean, does make it scale with supports and stuff, but anyway. It just means you get more EX specials more often, but it's also, it's an objective DPS increase. Especially with raw buffers giving you buffs you normally don't get. Of course, again, this is like just speculation on why it is cool to have these limited agents as options. Even Caesar here is probably the least impressive, but 15% damage Resignor and a 500 attack on her attack buff means 1500 attack and 15% damage Resignor. That's pretty solid, man. Especially if you stay on the character for a long time. Like Jiyuan, with Jiyuan on a team with a, well, not a stunner. You actually lose 30% crit rate if it's not a Caesar and not a double support team. So like Caesar Astra, which is kind of a over inflation of attack stuff. But I mean, it's a lot of free stats. As long as you don't swap out. Well, it's mostly just the attack you're losing. If you swap out, that's fine. Unfortunately, the rest of this is not important. Because this is just her personal DPS. Which is, I mean, at the current state of the game, she over doubles her personal DPS, and that means she probably deals as much as Zhao. That's epic. But yeah. The option to lose to these characters instead, though, is still like way better than losing to these characters. Specifically this one and this one. As soon as you get Rita's M1, you don't want to lose to her anymore. As soon as you get Lycons, you don't want Lycon. It's Mindscapes. You want one Lycon, and that's it. His Mindscapes suck. M3 and 5 would be cool just because of his constant days, so that just means it might be a difference between 1 and 2 more stuns. So the days you get from the +2 skill levels could be important for a Lycon if you use them a lot. Similar goes to Coletta, but after M2, like that's all you're getting, and even then, you shouldn't ever want Coletta until she gets a buff that gives her actual buffs and meaningful things to do. Otherwise, don't bother getting Coletta. It is not a suggested venture. What else? I mean, that's all there is to say here. It's cool, and then they're swapping over to selecting. Oh yeah, also, actually, for these W engines, it's also pretty important. I didn't close it out yet, thank goodness. Let's see. I keep doing the disc icon. Like, what are these icons on Pride dude? Like, do you see these? Like, what are these? Why is there a paw print for Bang Boo? Why is it a box for W engines? Get new UI. It's a different game, man. I don't play your other ones. Alright, but yes. I mean, in the current state of the game, first off, at the current state of the game, this W engine sucks. It's garbage. It's like, who cares? Because, excuse me, sorry, Valina is overpowered, and if you're not using Valina, you're underpowered, meaning this disorder damage buff sucks and it's useless. I'm half joking, but like, seriously, like, if you're not using Valina, who cares? It still gives 75 AP, and it's 30% attack main stat with maxed out to 150 AP. That's pretty cool. But this only matters for like, specifically if you use Grace or Yanagi, then this matters. And I mean, 15% build up boost is pretty good if you can max it out at all. And I mean, this right here is still really solid. This should still be Grace's best weapon, though I think, gosh, when you play her with Valina, it probably is back to just using Fusing Compiler, because Fusing Compiler is just an incredible ball of stats. Like, there's probably justification, especially if you max it out, 115 AP with 50% build-up rate. Like, this is entirely useless and gone when in the Valina team, but like, you get an insane boost of build-up, which is all Valina wants. You just spam out those vortexes. But 150, like 50 times 3, if you max out a Fusion Compiler, so 150 AP with 24% combat attack on a 24 pen main stat. It's a very powerful, very potent ball of stats that, you know, first off, rewards you for getting attack rolls by making your attack rolls more potent. Gives you a gigaton of AP, only 48 or less AP than Weeping Cradle, which only gives AP, and then a penetration, which rewards you when you stack up penetration. So it's an insane, great ball of stats, but also important. This is also pretty good. Now, it's only good. Do we see how many yellow W engines there are here in this category? Exactly. But anyone can use this W engine no matter what. So if they do make a new defense agent, or if you have Zhao, being able to get Tusk of Fury and the chance of getting dupes of it is pretty insane. I think the sheer value doesn't even matter for Zhao, but the days boost to the whole team could help you reach a stun break point on a Zhao, Dylan, or Zhao Norma team. Like, especially since this is for the whole team. Like, this is just constant days for Norma, who I don't know. I'm pretty sure, first off, Dylan only gets days boost. So, like, this specific days dealt increase is a different multiplier from just increasing your impact, right? So it's an objective 12% days increase to Dylan, unless you have Sig, which I think Dylan's signature is her only source of days. Let's see, it's right here, stacking up to 3 times. She gets to like 27 days. All right, that's nice, but isn't a crazy amount. So she's still getting her days up to 24% if you get unlucky, admittedly. Now, it probably is worth saying this is the W engine banner. And I looked at the screen again, sorry. I need to take off my screen. This is accurate. Actually, this is not accurate. Like, get this crap out of here. Like, you probably don't even want this one either. Like, get these pieces of crap out of here. It probably is. Jeez. If you're gonna have a stun option, it's gonna be Hellfire. But you, like, definitely get Fusion Compiler. I know Weeping Cradle is good. Weeping Cradle is a good alternative for every W agent, but as soon as you get 5 copies of Fusion Compiler, it's just like way stronger than Weeping Cradle. It's just a bundle of stats like way more potent. But also, yeah, GUN's W engine sucks so bad. Like, if the baseline sucks compared to Phase 1 Brimstone, don't bother with it. Yeah. Like, Harumasa's W engine beat out GUN's own Sig because it had 5% more crit rate. Heartstring Nocturne's going to beat out GUN's own Sig because she already has an inflated amount of damage, and it's damage only for her basic attack, the only part that's inflated. It's embarrassing. So yes, it was funny that they didn't have Sig here. It's here for posterity, but like, don't have this. Don't try to lose to this. I mean, don't. It's a 75-25, so you're unlikely to lose to anything you want. But first off, this Wenjin sucks. Don't bother with it. It's good and okay on Lycon. It's Trigger's best source of days, since she comes back on the field so often. She doesn't get the energy increase from, and she doesn't EX enough for Hellfire Gears. Still, this Wenjin is pretty bad. Wenjin is pretty bad, so definitely kick this one off, or this one here. So, like, kick that there, and then yeah, losing to either of these is pretty good, though Time Weaver is very comparable to this Fusion Compiler. But yeah, that's it. Of all things here, honestly, out of this whole list, this is still the best W engine by far. Like, as soon as you get this to like phase 3, it starts being better than, it starts fully competing with limited W engines. Phase 5, it starts being better than most limited W engines at phase 1. So multiple copies of this at phase 5 would be best. But again, this is losing at 75-25, which is sadly not impossible. Very not preferential, but not, sadly, very possible. And so it's worth picking the right ones. Do not pick Lycon's W engine. Try not to lose to that one. Do not. Don't pick the center ones. They. Alright, I wanted to read this. Partner in crime for draining my wallet dry. Any chance I could get a better deal? Why is it doubled up? Wire, mate. There's a bundle. $30% off for buying both skins. That is so not worth it. That is still like half a pull at minimum. Is this 30% off on the already reduced price? Because when the agent releases with the skin, the price is already discounted, right? So is this 30% off the 16, or is it the 1280 times 2, then a further 30% off? Because if so, that's fine, but like, yikes, it's still pretty big. 30% off that. 30% off is pretty big, but I mean, if it is what I'm thinking, it might make it the price of like a still more than a full 10 pull. Like, it should still be over 1600 polychrome, which is more than a 10 pull. At which point, why bother? Yeah, I think the skin just looks super nice, and especially with the red here, the red light on the black, just so sick. So like, I don't see any appeal in this swimsuit skin. Just either use the base outfit if you like this, or just get this box skin. It's like, sorry if that was audible. But yeah. All right, yeah, optimizations. Hopefully this like free to play guide is pretty cool. And we didn't get much out of the announced Honkai Star Rail collaboration, which I just don't care for. I don't care about any Hoyo games. It's been a long time, but a bummer I had is that I disliked how Evelyn and Asher looked when they were first revealed, because it felt like they reminded me of ads I was getting for Honkai Star Rail. And so I think it was Kafka. Kafka is the character who was new at the time. And so I was getting ads for her. And it felt like Evelyn was similarly dressed in a way to Kafka. And it was annoying to me because she reminded me of a character in a game I didn't care about and didn't want to play. I only played Zenless Zone Zero because, in particular, the world and setting was particularly cool. Oddly enough, I think we're done here. Oddly enough, there was this coolness to Zenless Zone Zero there was it was stylishness just from watching the ads, and I still get the feeling when I do watch the ads for Zenless and Zero, those old ads, the game just had a style to it. It just looked really cool. It was just so different from the other gotchas I seen or played that it made me actually play the Hoyle game. This is the first Hoyle game I ever played. No, I think I actually think I did try Star Rodeo, but I just stopped early. I just didn't care about it much after a day. I enjoy gameplay like freaking normal JRPGs or Final Fantasy Brave Exvius more. I enjoy freaking Brave Frontier more. I, I played like several other gotcha games I played before, so I didn't care. I didn't stick with it. But things ZZZ is just so stylish, dude. It looks cool. Then there's something about it feels like probably is 1.5 with like Evelyn and Asher's designs. I don't hate them, but they weren't anything the cool. They weren't like Coletta. They weren't Bellabog. They weren't Billy or Nicole. They weren't Victoria Housekeeping with Rita, Ellen Joe, freaking Lycon, Vaughn Lycon, or even Corin. Weren't UN, weren't Jane Doe. All those designs were like super sick, super cool. And somehow they felt very cohesive in the world. Yet something about 1.5, something with Astra and Evelyn felt a bit more disconnected. And it should be understandable that they're like once a pop star. I don't know, but still something about Evelyn still felt a bit off for some reason. I don't know why. But then the very next patch we get Sanby and whatever the heck she's wearing. And then Trigger and uh, tights are cool and all, but like it's a comparatively bizarre setup getup with a trigger on her neck. Neither matched Soldier 11 very much at all. But like Trigger not matching her is a bit more disappointing. They just felt really off from the vibe, from the impression, the stylishness ZZZ gave me. Oddly enough, Hugo and Vivian are really cool looking. They look awesome, but they didn't fix that. And it was still before 2.0, but by 2.0, it seemed officially gone. That stylishness that brought me to ZZZ is just really gone. So I still play because it's a really fun game. I really like this game, but it feels bad because something that was really cool is just gone, and it's hard to pinpoint what or why. Even for like all the designs I really like, I think I still Orphe is one of my favorite designs in the game. I think she just looks awesome. And Hari, I felt like there was a lot more to her design that I really appreciated the more I looked at her. Presumptions on more I look at her aside. Presumptions on what I meant by what I more I look at her, but like, it was genuinely cool. And only given the chance because I actually liked her gameplay, she was otherwise easily skipped because of my preference for how the original Lucia looked with her black and red nun getup. Still, despite my like for those designs, my thinking normal is pretty cool. Rose Callifer is definitely cooler than Wi-Fi Peninsula so far. I don't love that stylishness. It still doesn't have that stylishness that ZZZ had. That's really disappointing. Oh well. I don't know. I just don't know where it went. I just have no idea what happened to it. Anyway, Hey, you want to see me fight the weakest boss in the entirety of Deadly Assault? Alright, I'm gonna do my cash in. I have to slide down through the list of characters. Just oh yeah, there's no reason to worry about my mindscapes, by the way. I have 2 limited mindscapes. Sorry, 2 agents with limited mindscapes, 3 in total. I shouldn't be doing that. That doesn't help what I was scrolling past these characters for anyway. Like, I'm holding the button here, you see how slow it goes? But look, as soon as I get to someone, where did I stop? I swapped back to look at Orphe, so it should be around Seed, and it'll go way faster, right? Yeah, it'll go way faster because I'm like cashed in. You know, like the shaders and stuff are all loaded up. All right, so I think I'm good doing that now. All right. So I'm thinking. So far, I think my strongest team is this for my Orphe. I think there's probably a higher potential with Astra with her chain attacks that she gives, but I think Xiao's buff is just easier to proc, and it instantly applies to both of them, and she gives like 5% more crit damage. And my Orphe is still relatively low crit damage, but I think the buff, I didn't check what it is. Alright, I think it's the same last one. Every chain attack gives 10% attack, 15% crit damage. Alright. I'll swap back to my main disc, my Giga build, my 3,307 attack, 123% crit damage. Oh wait, I have. It looks like I was doing a. No, I was just swapping around for when I was using my level 40 Billy. Still, that at least my crit rate's normal, but this is pretty high damage. With her signature Wenjin, she gives 45% damage. Zhao gives almost 40% damage, which is about 80 to 85% damage. You know, meaning with the 2-piece aftershock damage buff giving 15%, and her core giving her 85% to her aftershocks, which is all of her meaningful damage. She's at like 180% damage. So this disc sucks. Fire damage sucks. Except she gives herself an attack buff, which dilutes her attack buff. And she gives an attack buff, which dilutes her attack buff, but I mean, she also gives active attack buffs, which buffs you building attack. And then on top of that, she can't use pen. She most definitely should not be using pen. Yet pen is probably the best stat I could build, because I'm only at 55% freaking pen, you know? Like, quote unquote, only. I don't know. I also just had the thought that M1 trigger would also be a good pull. But like, no, I'm absolutely not getting M1 trigger. If Dylan and Norma did not exist, M1 trigger might seem pretty impressive. And she would definitely beat out Astra in several teams, but like, before that, like, no, she's like hyper mediocre. Her damage is way too low for the like little damage buff it provides. I'm probably not getting to the main story. Oh wait, I just realized something. I thought of something great. My lungs will fill and then inflate. My rage retires as it's one desire. Time is dire, my time today. Alright, back one. Oh. I don't know if that was an aftershock. I don't know if Zhao's I don't know, this game's kind of fun. Dude, she was aiming the wrong way. I'm gonna let those aftershock picks go back in.
Research-worthy target. Well then, the experiment begins.
Alright, well. I don't think this was a good idea. Okay. I think it was fine. Okay, so he went to spinning, that's fine. I wasn't gonna keep him stun locked. Okay, well, at least I think this lets me do this just fine. I think that's kind of annoying. I think my buff fell off. Alright, I applied that there so that it... Oh, I think she was coming in on aftershock. Alright. Oh, dang it, no. I should have made sure her aftershock would come out. Man, they give me a lot of leeway.
My turn now. I'm gonna do my best.
Alright, another aftershock. Oh, I didn't check the time at all, my bad. Dang. Let me see how close I was. My phone is like way behind. Yeah. Oh, dang, you know, that's... If I hit parries, that was 50k. How close I was to that then? Not close at all by the looks of it. My phone is on 144p. Alright, but yeah, no, I wasn't close. Imagine if they let Zhao actually deal freaking damage, dude. He's almost damaged by the bamboo. Not really. At least she can outdaze the bamboo. I'm pretty sure Asha gets outdamaged by the bamboo. That's cool though. Could be 50k for the first attempt. It's a fun balance of I'm trying to make sure I keep the astral voice buff. Who does the smart recommendation actually recommend? That makes sense. Hey, generate more, thank you. What is this team? Are you kidding me? Do you see this? What are they recommending me? Very. Very. Also, they aren't even recommending fire DPS anymore. Like, look at this. Look at these suggestions for freaking Pompeii. Like, what is that? 2 Evelynns and then this. This is just the same Evelynn team twice. Why is it here twice? Like, what is that? They both use the same Oblivion buff. And what is this suggestion for Fiend? Also, yeah, by the way, this is the double anomaly team they want you to use too. This guy's doable. He had his HP increased since the last time he was here, which is a shame because he was fine the first time he was here. Well, this sucks. Alright. What's that suggestion? I need to go back and see what they were trying to tell me to do. Like, what? Fairy. Also, this is Hyper is not a replacement for Jane. And what is this rotation? Alright, so I guess, like, it's disorder, so it's up to 35. This is like an old DA buff from when Alice was new, except it looks like an adjustment to it. Instead of being, it used to be damage, 20% damage and 20% physical damage, and then the defense shred. Now it's up to 25% defense, or defense shred with disorder team. He's went a nice week, by the way. What a suggestion, dude. That's insane. I'm gonna just have fun first, which is probably still playing this stupid team or stupid buff. 10% res attribute anomaly and 10% anomaly damage. The res, 10% res, 10% anomaly damage is. Oh, it's just Ice Wind and AP. 20 AP, 10% res, 10%. I think this is better, so it's 25 less AP and no defense shred, but instead this. But like, you with anomaly teams, you only get the
Want to see the?
You
only get stacking defense shred stacking on anomaly teams if you have like Mindscape. Like, it's locked to things like Alice and Jane Mindscape. I'm kind of surprised I only have one Rocket Boo, but I think it was just that timing. But it's also funny that I only have one Rocket Boo, considering I have Mercury and Ultra Jake with stars. Alright, well, this is... I quite like the Orc-V Norma team. It's quite fun. I'm gonna reset it after this one. I don't think I'm gonna try the third guy. It depends what the score I get here. I might just try... I'm gonna try something random in the last slot, just to get if I get like a good score with this team. I just remembered to see this fire resistant as I was coming in here. But that's what makes the first buff more potent. She'll be 30% resistant instead of 40. Oh, dang, I missed it. No, she didn't quite. What is this rotation, man? Something is wacky has happened, man.
This body doesn't look all that cool. Check this out. Coming at ya. Be careful, don't get scared. It's my turn.
the worst part about this boss is
Alrighty, I won't hold back. An opening. Rebel replacement. Come on, don't be nervous. Need a hand? Need a party style.
oh I missed. All right, well.
Not bad, eh?
Alright, got my... Dang, I didn't even get 1500, man. What a boss. I need to refresh, use that as buff, probably.
My turn. I've got it put on.
I do get corruption immediately, since I didn't plug it last time.
The flames follow my flow. Watch. I'll show you how it's done. Now my turn. My turn. Wow, it's gonna dump the bad guys on me like that? Time for a surprise! Flames burn brighter! Check this
Oh,
out.
dang. Maybe I should have waited for...
Let's party, let's your turn to happen. Sparkle bubble. Now's my chance. An opening. Hey, let's go.
Alright, that should be fine.
This baddie doesn't look all that
Oh, dang. I didn't do that very fast. Oh, dang. Dude, that was barely 28. This boss has so much HP. It's insane. Like, I don't... 30% resistant, but it's an M2 Bernice, dude. The whole team is getting 20% free res. Or penetration. Like, yeah, the whole team has free penetration. Like, why? Is it so hard, man? I don't know. That feels like unhinged. Like, the damage on this boss is so bad when probably can be killed like friggin' Valina. Like friggin' Valina Arya can probably kill this boss. Friggin' like this can't even break 30k with an M2. Like, what the crap, man? Like, and this buff, like, the buildup is the thing that suffers the most. But, like, 10% res, it really helps with the damage compared to, like, anything else. Like, the other buff would probably barely even break 30, like, 25k, even though it's an M2. Like, what is that? Do I, like, have anything else? Like, it probably is just...
I'll protect you. You know, asset can.
It probably is just that.
My loyal. I'll protect.
Normally.
I'm here. Miss Cecilia picked.
I'm here.
Look, bear with.
Needs.
I just don't want to play it, man.
Waiting.
Good day, prop.
How can I help?
I'll help you win. The lunch is on you.
Once upon a time?
Nothing to fear.
I'll protect you from.
Yahoo! See that your service.
Alright, yeah. I'm going to I'll try this funny team later. Actually, let's see. What else did Barry suggest for me? Alright, well, those are much more normal teams. They're just underpowered. Alright, she is not suggesting anything new. Like, what is this? Fairy, use brain, think of something new. Yeah, it is still the best, especially since it's just going to be objective 10% DPS increase for
No, Officer Knight.
I shall.
Nothing.
I'll protect.
pretty much everyone on the team.
Wanna pet? Got a new pet.
Huh? No asset.
As a stage outfit. It works. I'm already.
But compared to
Shall we
Compared to normal stage buff, the anomaly buffs are super underpowered. Which, I mean, if Valina is scoring well in this DA, it's just a great showcase of how like grossly overtuned she is. She gets 20% more damage over this team right here. Like, and win advantage is still. Ew.
Can't touch me.
Yeah, I forgot. I might lag.
My turn. It's my turn. The flames follow my flow.
This still feels like one of the silliest bosses. He just stunned himself right here.
Need a hand? Hey, let's have some fun. Check this out. Coming at ya. Lose yourself in the world of music. Surprise! My turn. Watch out.
Okay, this will proc stun.
Why aren't you laughing? Watch. I'll show you how it's done. Now's my chance. Need a hand? This baddie doesn't.
Alright, and then I'll get the ultimate, and it still gives save. I'm gonna do this for the stack.
My turn.
I missed it. Dang. That's annoying. I missed a parry earlier on Nangong. That delayed this stun an annoying amount. And also made me lose the pen buff, probably. Thank you, me.
Come on, don't be nervous. My turn. Take this. Check this out. Coming at ya.
Alright. I didn't mean to double swap. I don't know if I don't think she has. I'm just trying to see if. Oh, my bad. I should have. I think I thought Yuza had ultimate.
Wow, you're just gonna dump the bad guys on me like that? It's my turn.
Dang. I think I was saving this. I was trying to basic attack till ultimate. Let's see. I don't know. Okay. I did get Bernice's bloom with that last one, but I was paying attention to the timer. Dang, that wasn't great. And of course, not despite Nangong having weakness advantage, Fiend has so much stupid HP, and along with a break in the middle of the fight, that it dealt like. What was I? 28? Yeah, 7k more damage score. Which is more than that in percent damage because the boss has more HP as the fight goes on. Yeah. Yeah, a neutral fight, by the way. So this is when I should have checked when I fought the fight or the fiend, what the spread was. It should be. It's always hard to tell because it's hard to tell who gets attributed blooms and disorders, and when they shoot it, when it should matter. Okay, so well, I mean, at least this is like an easy 100k. Let me do that real quick before just messing around with silly teams. And I kind of need to go to the bathroom.
No matter where we go.
All right.
Looking for intel?
Hey dear, what kind of fun job have you got me into this time?
Gosh, this is gonna be so stupid, man.
Is it time to clock out?
I might go a stupid team that
Need
doesn't.
something? Go ask my colleagues.
Not supposed to work because it's fire.
Protection. Asset can. Yahoo! See that? I'll protect you from. You know, I really like your son.
But this team will actually get the. This team actually gets the. Okay, well, I need to swap that out. Don't worry, that build worked. I didn't get a recording because I forgot it was the last day of DA, but dang it. Alright, it works. It honestly probably works fine on the other fight. And like 1% crit rate is all I need. So that's more than I need. But I don't have much better choice. I guess that's a good disc. I'm just like over crit rate. And then this one is useless. And if like if either of those were like pen or something, maybe I'll do that instead. But like, it's not like I have a great option here, I think. Oh yeah, this actually gets the crit rate buff, but I don't need that on this team. Okay, let's just do this.
Make a grand entrance.
No, Ultra Jig doesn't matter here. Also, he's fire. So don't bother with Fire Bangu. He would deal more days, I think. But yes, using... Alright, first off, yeah, Chain and Ult ignoring 30% res means they go from... Evelyn is going from 40% or 60% damage dealt to 90, which is a lot. Excuse me. Evelyn is certainly weakened a lot, but her signature is 25% res ignores. So on Fiend, she goes from 60% to 85% damage dealt, and so this is pushing me back to having weakness advantage, which is a fake weakness advantage, because, I mean, I'm still dealing 30%, 20% less damage than I would on other bosses.
I can't really control my strength.
Oh my god. Dang. That's annoying that I got hit.
So unprofessional. Heads up. Your journey.
Oh, I forgot I need to let her EX finish.
Not over yet.
Keep distance. Sustain fire.
Give him a full
I don't know if my chain stacks are still applied.
Speed limiter disengaged.
I'm doing this way wrong.
What's a girl gotta do to completely tear you?
I'm doing this mega wrong.
Full lockdown complete.
This song is dedicated to the world. Full lockdown complete. I knew it wouldn't be so easy.
Oh wow. She like went invulnerable before I finished that attack string, so I... Oh crap. Hey, I kinda needed these exploded. I don't know if I got the full score for that because I didn't fully explode the miasma goop.
I'm in perfect shape. Countering. Oops, I can't really control my strength. Neutralizing the threat.
Oh, I should have used ultimate. My bad.
Homing barrage! Fire!
Heads up. The best defense.
I think I just got energy. Yeah, the cool thing about this team is constantly giving energy back to Evelyn so that she can spam. So that she can spam her Oniax to refill seed back up.
Everything's on fire. So unprofessional.
Increasing firepower output.
Oh, are you kidding me? Why? It didn't double swap to Astra, dude. That's so frustrating.
Suppress the target.
Let our souls resonate.
Full lockdown complete.
Unleashing artillery barrage.
Heads up. Nothing.
Okay. Does this...
Slips through my...
I think I did the... Yeah, this seems still 22k despite the 40% fire resistance. The chain attack buff is just too powerful. Yeah, and I still missed... It should have been like a 24. It should have been 24, 325, but I missed the performance points because I didn't clear the full wave. That's funny. Yeah, still a 100k, which means I'm safely above 100,000 now, which is my main goal. Like, if I'm safely above 100k, that means, like, the barrier to clear, even with HP increase, will still go up, but there will be worse days. This is before I got... before Norma's release? Yeah, before Norma's release, I was stuck with this. I could have pushed it further, probably, but, you know... And somewhere weird here, though this was with Vesper around, and I only got a 20k with that. Yeah, that probably is a better team. Yeah, she went instead. I don't know. I feel like Evelyn just has better energy buildup for some reason. For some reason, Evelyn just feels smoother with Seed than UN ever does. Alright, well, I guess I can do my dailies later. Should I go see what Wise is up to? Actually, as long as I actually remember to. Maybe even tonight, but tomorrow would be the better day to get around to it. So... thus concludes the Zenless Zone Zero Season 2 reaction stream that did absolutely nothing for the main story progression of my account. I still haven't officially been to Rose Califer, despite what the detective guy said. Sorry, I'm changing the title. I can't type and speak at the same time. But yep, 3 hours is a good time. Nice early stream, and then I can go out listening to hearing the reactions other people had. I'm sure a lot of people had more fun than me. Unfortunately, if you look up unofficial information, you'll probably not have too much to enjoy. Though I think I in particular had a bad time because I just am frustrated with the power creep of Valina. Maybe I would feel different if I owned Valina, but dude, supposedly Nangong was overpowered. Supposedly Nangong was broken and overpowered, and we made an even stronger character. What is this? Alright, whatever, sorry. Rant over. I'm sure everyone else had a much better time. A free Jane Doe is all I wanted, but they're doing better than that. For the average player, free Lucia with her signature W engine will be insane. Or if you liked any of your Rupture characters but didn't have Lucia with her sig, congrats. You have a major increase to your character. If you liked Sanby or Hugo, good work. For either of them, you're pushing towards M2 for Trigger. You can get M1, which is a solid boost overall, even if she probably remains worse than Norma and worse than Dylan in the majority of cases. It'll keep her ahead of the curve for Sanby and even Seed teams. And you can even guarantee her signature so that she'll actually be a character. And Jane Doe, her M2 is also potent. It is interesting. Specifically these three DPS have pretty powerful M2s. Sanby is more low-key. I think it's mostly a gameplay change that, from what I've heard, made her more fun. But aside from Sanby, Hugo and Jane in particular have potent M2s. And M1s that are DPS increases. that is just how it is. Their M1s do boost them. Jane becomes better than Piper, guaranteed, at M1. Okay, Jane becomes better than Piper on average at M1. And then substantially stronger. And I think I don't remember how much they explained on Jane's buff. She will be objectively better than Piper. So. Otherwise, yeah, that's about it. The free agent is insane. Is it bad that I might want to go do some rewind time real quick? That's my window. Excuse me. I don't know why that's not. Anyway, before I go, what was the other one? Because it looked like they weren't being added to the shop, right? Because they were adding C. It wasn't that they were being added to the shop, but that they were being options to obtain from it. Sorry, I really do just want to check back in with... Yes. Choose one of 4. Okay, yep. So these characters are not being added to the shop, where Qingyi, Jane, and Bernice are. But they are choices to choose from. For Filmgoer, thank you. Top-ups, yes. So you just expect it to be as expensive as it was for $150 for friggin' Jane Doe, dude. Are you kidding? That's embarrassing. If it was, but like whales, if you're gonna whale on the game, you're doing that anyway. But yeah. This is a trap. This is pretty good, and this is okay. Only if you have Vivian. Great if you have Seed. Mediocre elsewhere. A trap. Do not get this unless you're getting 5 copies, I guess. Even then, it's like 4% less damage than W5 both of them at W5 or overclock number 5, phase 5. Astra Signature has 4% less damage than, I think it's like 3.8% less damage than Weeping Cradle, which is hilarious. Don't bother with this. Or you can transfer it to microcontroller units, which just means you get this one if you want to get Jane sick. Or, oh wow, actually, first off, this is also a spending event to get Jane again. So, you can get 2 Janes right now if you spend $150, because one will be free anyway. That's kind of hilarious. That's actually very interesting, but probably intentional. The free Jane, I mean, thank goodness they're giving a free one away. It's so frustrating how limited it is. People thought that you would get a ticket for the shop anyway. At least you're getting the most valuable character from the shop, but, like, to be honest, Jane isn't the most valuable character in the shop because Bernice is stronger than her. I need to play more. I need to play more M2 Jane, but I'm quite confident Bernice at M2 is stronger than Jane at M2 because Valina. Valina is just more potent with Bernice, and Bernice buffs Valina and herself and Remiel. So you know. And Jane does the same with different. But you can give everyone pen and actually make the same amount of pen. You're getting even better. So Bernice M2, I'm actually pretty sure is better than Jane's M2. Buffs included. So it is a shame Bernice was not. But anyway. And it kind of sucks because, I mean, if I want my Jane usable, I have to get this. And I say usable, but like, if you don't have Valina, sorry. SOL. You didn't get the overpowered character, because apparently Nangong wasn't the overpowered character. Sorry, I'm still just mad. I think the power creep is cringe. And it doesn't, no one cares. Because it didn't buff up the weaker teams. When it's just overtuned, man. Just so overtuned. It was disproportionately buffing up weaker characters, but like, there's such a massive gap between the weaker teams and Valina. It's embarrassing, dude. It's so frustrating. It's so cringe. You just didn't like a character and didn't get your character suck. It's like such a frustrating part of this game that like, that your like characters suck if you don't like this stupid overpowered character. Holy crap! I hate Valina so much. So. Despite not being free to play anymore, I would not spend $150 on this game just to get it. If it was somehow cheaper and affordable and not embarrassing to, out of all of these, I would get ZZZ. Because by far, ZZZ1 would be the most voted in game. As frustrating as the low scores would be with an M0 Jane Doe, because M0 Jane Doe is just not worthwhile. And an M1 Seed is most game changing of all because of the reduced skill charge needed to use her space. Especially for that Evelyn team. Like, I have multiple seed teams I enjoy without needing to get that cringe Lord Sissia to be her only power creep. Sissia with Evelyn is just so much fun, dude. Unironically, wholeheartedly, it's a fun team. It's just a great time. And it's really nice that it has a solid, worthwhile DA buff at this point. So yeah, it'll be nice to get there. Even though an M1 Jane, I hate this rescreen event, man. I can't believe they're rescreening 3 characters I just don't care about anymore. It's 3 characters I own. Dylan, Harumasa, and Yuzaha. I own all 3 of them. Their Wenjins aren't amazing. Dylan's is the best. Pretty solid. She doesn't have a great alternative. But she's just so fine about it. She'll just be objectively better than Lighter now. Compared to Norma and the thing is that I don't care because I don't like her as much compared to Norma. we need silent signature? I don't think so. It doesn't feel necessary, and it's the worst possible rescreening. It just doesn't give me anyone I care about, and I'm unguaranteed. And I don't even get Alice's signature. I don't have any option to get Alice's signature because of this stupid rescreening event. I freaking couldn't get this stupid hole with this holy crap dot. That's just a gotcha in general frustration. I was just completely broke and free to play. So I never spend real money on this game if you're rage playing. That is such a waste of money. So it's good that I'm free to play. I would never spend money just to get a character. I would only do the incremental bonuses. And if this seemed like an affordable obtainment of free stuff, then maybe it'll be incentive to maybe push a little further. Because I like the game still. I'm just frustrated by a lot of aspects. And I think the frustrating part is that it's not entirely the game's fault. To some extent, I think Alina's overtunedness is just going to be more pronounced with Remiel's release. And maybe people will feel that, will understand that maybe Valina is a bit overpowered when Valina is the only meaningful option for, well, it just has a meaningful gap between having and not having Valina for Remiel. Even though Remiel will still be stronger than Yuzuha in all of her teams. It's just a gap. It's just frustrating. It'll be more obvious then, though, than it is now. But even then, it's right when freaking 0.5 level characters. Anyway. I don't know. What am I doing? Where am I going? Alright. My YouTube studio still says one concurrent live viewer while my phone is trying to lie to me and say I have 2 viewers when I refresh in it. Oh, I don't know why it's lying to me. Anyway. I think, yes. I should be going now. Goodbye, rabbit. Yeah. It's just unlucky. I'm not pulling Haru's M1. I had the signature widget already. I didn't even pull it for him. I'm not getting Haru's Wenjin. I'm not getting... I don't want to get Yuzuha's W. Or... let's see. Alright. I'm gonna make my... I might make my computer audible on my microphone by opening up Try to Win. Freaking websites with ads are do insane things for my PC. I also probably should just stop because it's been sounding like a lawnmower for most of the stream. But yeah, Yuzuha's M1 buffs her additional ability, which just means you'd probably want her signature as it increases the value you get from having her signature. It gives her energy at the start, so you can always start with EX, and then it's 10% res reduction, which is good. But, it's better than a 10% DPS increase. That much is, I think, certain. Excuse me. But it's like 10% res reduction with like 6%, like anomaly buffs, which is. It gives less of a build-up boost than... Yuzuha's M1 gives less of a build-up boost than Grace's M2. That's funny. But she's a support into a buff one, so I mean... Also, same patch as Remiel, right after Remiel's gone, which is kind of hilarious. I don't know. Only have Alice with Jane. I think for Wenjins, by the way, I think I'm settling on just getting more Sharpened Stingers. I think I will just max out Sharpened Stinger. It doubles in potency, and if Jane gets free dashes that makes her easier to stack up her stacks. It's just going to be an insane stat stick. 36 more damage than baseline. It doubles that to like 72% damage. Is insane. 72% damage with 80% buildup is insane. I don't know. I mean, the buildup will be even better for Remiel because she converts the stacks of Anomaly into her stacks to do her crap more often. So, I don't know. If you have Valina, yeah, get your phase 5 Sharpened Fingers and M2 Janes, and then she'll be insane. Good work. Bernice barely has that option. I think M2 Bernice is better than Jane, but I think Jane has a better W engine. Just a much stronger W engine. While Bernice has her signature W engine competitive with Fusion Compiler, so, you know. And probably evens the gap. Of course, the gap is made massive because Valina and the next runner-up is massive. I'm just so frustrated. The more I think about Valina, the less I want Remiel. Because I don't think there's a reason to pull for a stupid freaking Void Hunter. The first Void Hunter I kind of liked. Alright, I really need to end stream. I really need to end stream because I wanted to go to the bathroom, but I want to go to the bathroom, and I just kind of want to listen to other people talk about the game, because I like hearing people talk about the game. I like discussing the game, that's why I'm here. But I lost my train of thought. I had one last thing I wanted to talk about. I'm sorry about that. I guess it's time to go then. Because I can't even think of it, I can't even remember. That's what it is. This was the first Void Hunter I kind of quite liked. I'm like so willing to get Remiel's black dress skin because it's just so pretty. I really love how Remiel looks. I think her black dress looks awesome. I don't even love her like white dress as much. I still think it looks really cool. But I think her black dress looks amazing, dude. I mean, I'm not free to play anymore, so I'm okay with spending the bit of monochrome I get on a skin. And I got Nangong's skin, and it was really worthwhile, because I really don't like Nangong's face outfit the more I looked at it. But I really think Nangong's skin looks really cool, and similar it's going for Remiel right now. Especially with the black and red. It just looks so sick. But then her gameplay is fine. I'm used to it. I don't hate it nearly as much as ALG does, who's may or may not have played Remiel in unofficial means still. And by my experience, I don't see like a gameplay feels difference between Remiel and Yuzuha too much for the Valina team. I'm sure he'll be fine. That said, Remiel has issues, so many issues. And she's just not a character you play as. But she's worse than not a character you play as, like swapping it out. She's like restrictive in a way that's worse than Astra. Like, it was finally a Void Hunter I kind of liked. She was going to do something for me, probably. But then every instance of possibly liking her, it gets worse. Like, her gameplay is just... It happened again. I wanted a character, and it happened again. I wanted Pulchra. She has no on-field gameplay, and was made a stupid Aftershock, like free-to-play option for Sanbi, and just a generally good character with a lot of stupid, like, negative attributes, like, intentionally designed into her just to make sure she's not as good as an S-rank, I guess. Then I wanted Orphe. I thought Orphe's, like, one of the coolest characters ever. She's not only no on-field moveset again, she's undertuned intentionally because of the cringe Lord Sanbi. How? 2 times in a row, a character I really like specifically gets undertuned because of Sanbi. Like, how? Like, her best team, and a team I actually quite like. I like it like way more than Sissia. It's so stupid how artificially like designed, like hard-coded Sissia is made to be for Seed. It's just so frustrating, dude. Like, I like a character, and they're not designed to work with. They're not designed to be optimal with the character when everyone else gets to be optimal with the characters they release with. Like, what? I finally pulled characters. Like, I pulled 4 DPS prior to Season 2. 3 of them were released, and 1 was GUN. I finally pull attackers again. And it's 2 characters who are made to be much better together, but it's 2 characters who aren't made to be optimal with each other, because one's balanced around a character who's getting buffed the very next patch, and the other's balanced around a character who's like patches away. So I pull for a team, and they're not even made to be best together. So they get to be intentionally underpowered compared to the characters releasing ahead and behind them. Like, they get to be worse than Yuzuha with Alice. They get to be worse than Lucia with any Rupture agent. Like, what is that? It's so friggin' lame, dude. Like, are you kidding me? And then the next character I like is Zhao. They immediately power creep Zhao with Suna a patch later. Zhao has no on-field moveset. She is less restricting than Remiel, because she's more restricting than anyone else, because she just forces you to be unable to swap to her, and it's hard to tell when you're allowed to be swapped to her until you see, like, psh. It's hard to even tell when you're allowed to even swap to her to end it early. Like, it's so frustrating, because she has otherwise good attributes. She just has that very restricting swapping. You know, she restricts the best part of ZZZ combat. Like, what? And then they just make an objectively better version of her that patch later. What? The character isn't even made to... doesn't even have her additional ability to turn on with anomaly agents. But her little mechanics engages with anomalies specifically to deal more damage. Zhao doesn't even do that. She's just a buffer that gets her more buffs with anomaly agents turned on. But she doesn't get it with Rupture agents. She can't be competitive with Lucia in any way because we have to sell Lucia on a rerun. What is this? What is this? This sucks, man. And then, finally, for the first time ever, I kind of feel like pulling for Void Hunter before I meet them. I don't feel like pulling for Miyabi. I don't want to play a game where she's overpowered intentionally, but you have to have her, or you just can't beat endgame content. That isn't the case yet. So, and that was never the case for Miyabi. Cool. I didn't pull for Ishuen, the Void Hunter rank character, because she just wasn't what I was hoping for. And just is not a design that makes me... that it just is not a design I care about at all. Anyway, I also have work, so I guess it's worth not getting myself too upset, even though it's hours away. But as it is, stop screen, good alarm. And I definitely don't pull for Ye Guang, because the only thing that could have ever made me pull for Ye Guang is if they actually allowed her optimal partner to be Seed. Like, imagine that. Imagine this character who's constantly ridiculed and laughed at. Because, you know, the fake out, people wanted the big robot and there's a girl in the robot. Like, there's a whole meme from another character. I get it. I get frustrations. Like, Seed kind of falls out of favor of this being one of my favorites because I like the robot. I would have loved the robot. And I still like Seed. I still like Flora. But I don't love her design. She's in the trigger camp of just not being that Oboe Squad design I quite liked from Soldier 11. But I still feel like I got it from Miss Orville, which is why I love her design. But still, I like Seed. I'm not as offended by it. Even though I get the frustrations. But, like, they went all out for Seed. They gave her this 3D animated drip marketing, like they only did again for Ye Guang and only did again for Remiel, and then they gave her a short movie, which is something they only did for Miyabi, only did for Ye Guang, and I assume are doing again for Remiel. I didn't check. I didn't pay attention. They breezed past those marketing, but yeah, they gave her a short movie, and it was a pretty good short movie. Like, well animated, just looked cool. And then she had the second to last agent story, and it was really powerful, and it was easily one of the best, even with the issues. Alright, so maybe I don't think it was probably the best. There was probably stronger ones overall. But it still had a very strong conclusion. And it's powerful moments. So it was a really memorable one, potent one. So imagine if she was actually great with the upcoming Void Hunter. With all the attention they tried to give her. Even though she clearly failed miserably. But no. That would have been too much fun. So, with what Yesheng Wang's gameplay is, with how anti-swap it is, why would I ever want to pull that? But finally, just this character. Also, not to mention, Yesheng Wang is part of one of the worst stories in the entirety of the game. 2.5 is a travesty, which sucks because Zhao is one of my favorite characters. Not for the story, actually. It is entirely the personality ascribed to her, as well as just her design and weapon in general that makes me like her. Unfortunately, she just is also part of one of the worst stories ever, but she was free. But finally, just from the, not even getting into 3.0, from the brief interactions I had with her so far, Remiel is awesome. I quite like Remiel. Her black dress looks incredible. It's super pretty, super beautiful. And from unofficial means, it looks so good. But the gameplay, you don't play as her. Fulcra, Orphe, Zhao, now Remiel. What is this? How? How is it possible that, like, almost 4 times in a row, I kind of quite like a character before we know anything about their gameplay? And over again. Somehow, I just don't get to play as them even when I get them. I'm lucky that there are minutiae to Orphe's gameplay, and it makes her playing with Seed one of my favorite teams. As well as just the Norma now, helping her just be really powerful, especially since I got M1 instead of Billy. But I don't know, man. How? How can't it be depressing to play Zenless Zero, to love this game, and just be so unlucky? Because it's not necessarily like the game is doing anything wrong. It just sucks that any design I like, you just don't play. Like, I guess not. I like plenty of other designs, and like any design I really like or get super interested in just actually pulling for before knowing their gameplay. Dude. That sucks. It sucks so bad, man. Gosh, it's so frustrating. Just not have a character I like be usable on field, like in a more meaningful extent, like with an interesting on-field moveset. I freaking skipped Evelyn just to pull for Fulcra. Gosh dang, man. Freaking. How? Like, why did I pull for Fulcra, man? And I still play Evelyn to this day, just because I like her quite a bit. But man, first Void Hunter I actually like and want to pull for. And it's literally the issue I've been having with all of my most favorite and most hyped for characters. You just don't play them. How? But unfortunately she has the worst of both worlds, where she's only optimal with a character I just outright don't like. Like, I've grown used to her gameplay, but she has, like, one specific frustration that's amplified further by the fact that she's overpowered and just a disgusting step ahead of every other character. Like, for all the characters I like, have to pull this stupid character I don't like just to make them viable. It's so frustrating, dude. Alright, sorry. I'm repeating myself too often. It's just, I need to stop thinking about it. It's just going, because all that said, I still like it. I'm gonna play this game for a long time, for as long as it lasts. God willing, for as long as I live. It's just... because I don't... again, it's just not necessarily the fault of the game itself, or the devs. It really is just unlucky. It is just so unlucky who I end up liking most, and what they decide to do with their game. It's just so sad, it's so unlucky. And it's just so sad who the characters I outright don't like, and how much they benefit the characters I do like. I still don't want to get Lucia for Yidhari. I like Yidhari so much, but the teams I like are so underpowered and so undercooked that it just stops being engaging to engage with them. Because unfortunately, getting big numbers in the endgame mode is pretty fun. So getting a big number with a character I like is fun. And not getting a big number with a character I like just because I'm missing a character is really, really annoying. Especially when I just do not like that character. That sucks.